Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Terminus podcast, episode number 129. I am your dispatcher, Ellis Tamelio, otherwise known as the Admiral. With me, my engineers are, well, just one engineer, Nick Christensen, or Milky Penguin.
Hey.
With us, we have also our fireman, Chris Holman, and Jared Cole.
Sure you.
And our brakeman this week is Eric Maurer. Welcome back.
I have returned once again.
Just flown in from Japan, but not really.
I have. You guys fly me in here like every other week.
Oh yeah, we do that. That's definitely our fault. We're the reason you're here. Anyway, the train will terminate at this station.
Okay, here we are in Henrysburg, wherever the hell Henrysburg is, watching Dean the Matted Lamp do.
He is a dragon staring at other dragons. I think.
Okay,
I think. I don't know what's going on, but they're talking. So I guess we're watching this. Anyway, I expected trains. I don't know. Anyway.
Dragons work.
This week, we had an actual... only a couple of crashes across the railroads. We only had 3. We had a BNSF one on September 20th, which was in Fort Scott during the night. 3 cars fell over, crews were switching in the cars, a signal was impacted, no injuries were reported, and really nothing seems to have happened. There's just a very spooky-looking picture of cars tipped over in the dark.
Yeah, but all in all, a boring wreck.
Boring wreck. Come on, where are the explosions?
The explosions! That's what we came here for.
CSX!
Here we go.
Didn't explode. A freight train derailed on Thursday morning in a rural stretch of Minooka, and some area roads were closed. There were overturned rail cars blocking an intersection, no hazardous materials, no public safety threats, and the picture that they have for the article is literally taken off of Google Maps. Like Google,
I was just about to mention
it's Google Street View.
It's like, this is the best picture you guys could have gotten.
These are journalists.
Alright, guys.
I guess they aren't photojournalists.
They're paid to do this.
And then Union Pacific derailed a train in Mesa on Thursday night, blocking traffic. It was a bunch of center beams tipped over. Empty center beams. I guess they're just trying to follow in the Norfolk Southern's footsteps. So, yeah. The links to these accidents are going to be available in the cargoes once I remember to make that document, because I totally forgot. Anyway, what have we been doing the past month since we've had a podcast?
Everything. Like cock and ball torture.
Okay, thanks.
Demonetization.
Yeah.
Man, that's gonna be sensitive.
Yeah, guess what isn't going to be the name of this podcast?
That?
Okay, can we talk about what we've done other than that?
I've been welding, getting good at that. It's cool.
Yeah.
Welding's fun.
You should weld a train.
Welding's fun.
I don't know what I mean by that. But
To weld
Weld the train.
Well, I want to employ your welding skills to build or to turn a go-kart into a speeder. I want to do. I have a go-kart on hand, and I
go buy the wheels.
I don't have the necessary skills, of course, and of course the difficulty. Chris, you hit the nail on the head. Getting flanged wheels is hard. Like,
yes.
It's really hard.
You can make them out of... all you gotta do is talk to Wavel and use the 3D printer and just make
let me 3D print some wheels.
You wouldn't 3D print a wheel.
You weren't down there the car.
So, that's my issue. I am glad that you're learning that, because it's a skill that I feel like not enough people in the group have, despite this group being filled with a lot of hands-on relatively hands-on people. I definitely don't have that skill because I don't have any skills.
I have some
You
of
got
that
some mad
skill.
driving skills.
I have some mad driving skills. I mean, I drove to
Be a
Pennsylvania.
rally driver.
You did drive to Pennsylvania.
I drove to
And
Pennsylvania
all around it.
with TJ in the passenger seat, which was by far the worst part because everyone knows he smells.
Wow. Okay.
No, I'm kidding.
It's because he's a hip.
TJ smeals.
No.
But he's not here to defend himself, so we can talk bad about him. Listen, if anybody's got any grievances to air about TJ, just go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, you know what? I do have a grievance about that.
Yeah,
Why the hell do they use a digital camera or a film camera?
because he's a hipster. We covered that.
I mean, it's cool, but god damn it!
It ruined everything.
He kind of ruined Rocket League for me.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Well, we might have got a really cool shot with that film camera. We'll find out in a week, maybe.
Find out in 3 to 4 months.
Yeah. So, once he takes the roll of film to a CVS and has it developed and then scans the picture in, then we'll be able to see if we got a good picture. But, yeah, we had a group picture of us in front of 611, of course, because we were down at Strasbourg for 611 to ride behind
I just posted
the
a
That was really
Queen
cool,
of
by the way.
Steam, alleged Queen of Steam.
Not confirmed.
Not confirmed. Ivan had his doubts.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's
Oh my
the picture of us. And we even had a couple of, I wouldn't say impromptu guests, but having Matthew Bacon show up as not part of the Horsemen, just be like, yeah, I'll come by, was pretty cool. Because it was like a fan meetup, singular fan, but fan meetup. So,
You know what happened in
Yeah.
Utah too.
so here's the picture
Did
of
that video get posted yet?
which
The
video.
rules?
No, I don't
No.
think so. I don't
No.
think so.
Okay.
Jimmy's been doing roller derby.
Yeah, so there's Jimmy, and then Eric, and TJ, and myself, and Madison, and Chris, and Matthew Bacon. Or Trainman 05. I have to say
611.
Matthew Bacon because there's nothing better than the last name Bacon.
Yeah.
Also, Chris, you look like shell-shocked in the back of the picture. You're just staring into the sun like,
I mean,
That is,
you know,
that is
already
the
were
face.
there.
that
have
is the
a hat.
face of somebody who has seen some shit.
Yeah.
I have seen some shit. Speaking of shit, my hat was in it.
Okay. So we got to pay 611 in the back of Fleagel's pickup truck, which was one of the coolest things ever. But
It was.
Chris
It was.
had his hat on and it flew off of his head.
And it landed in poo.
Sorry, Eric, you got cut.
It landed in
It
poo.
landed in a pile of road apples. And, Jimmy, we have to go back. My hat fell in the
Also,
shit.
it was his 491 hat. It's not like a random hat. It's like I got this at
I have to go back and get
Yeah.
this.
Anyway, there's the
Oh.
picture of the Horseman wagon and the 113.
And all this stuff goes with me as well because I was there as well.
Yeah,
so.
well, yeah, it was
I-
everyone
I
I
was
just
not
named.
there.
If we had had TJ on, we would have had a significant portion of the crew. We would have had 4 out of 7 of everyone that was there.
Closer than we got in with Promptory.
Yeah. No, good. Promptory we've had like 3 out of 4. Oh, no, because we had 5 people.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've had 3 people.
You know what? Oh wait, no, yeah, we need someone else to do a podcast in person. But there's it from the pickup truck at Carpenter's.
Let me scroll down. I just figured out how to move this thing. Hold on. I got this, the picture of us in the back of the truck.
And there's the Hello Dolly with everyone there. Oh my god, that was hell.
TJ with his film camera, Madison, me with my pineapple, and Eric huddling in the corner.
You know.
And
As
yep. And
Okay,
And
so
everyone up front booping the nose.
yeah.
yeah, oh my god, I saw a picture from the High Iron Company when they used to have like back in the 60s and 70s when they had their open air car, and oh my god, that's exactly what the Hello Dolly looks like.
Yeah.
It looks exactly like that.
Yeah. It was
Speaking of
busy
other
in there.
Speaking of other things we did, they also came up to Burrow Days in Schuylkill Haven. Not Eric.
I
not you,
didn't.
sorry, Eric.
Did they get
That's
scooped?
okay.
We got scooped.
You went to the Skook. You saw the 113. These are not my pictures, but I am on the train. That black smoke there, that wonderful black smoke, is because of me.
And also, headlight.
Headlight.
We're not going to talk about the headlight.
We're not going to talk about
I just want to say, before we don't talk about the headlight, we were in the wagon following the 113 back as Chris was firing, and we stop at this crossing to see the 113 go by, and I'm looking to the distance and going, headlight. And Madison goes, somebody, or no, I turned to Madison and said, text Chris and tell him to turn the headlight on.
it.
No. Yeah, I have like a couple of missed calls and stuff like that when I get back to mine, so I'm like, oh wait, no, I can't. I can't touch the phone while I'm on the engine.
Yeah,
We're not under three-step protection because federal law. But also under federal law is the fact that you can't not have the headlight on while moving. So yeah.
One or the other.
So we're going up through once we get out of like places where the sun is. I look at the water glass, like, I can't exactly really see. I bounce it, alright, we're good. I open up the light, see if it's broken. No, it's fine, I close it. And then I look over at the engineer, and I notice, wait a minute, none of the lights are on. Oh, let's get up and turn that back on. Whoops. Also, since, as seen before, the wagon does happen to have magnets now.
Magnets!
Yeah, I saw that. Those
Magnets. How do they work?
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce you to the Iron Horseman IHRX 98.
IHRX 98.
Our new
We're a
passenger
leasing
car.
company now.
Yep.
But yeah, there's the wagon next to the 113, so you can see it in its splendor. And then, yeah, of course, everyone had to steal the magnets and put them on everything. I'm not complaining, but we did stick the magnets to the 98. We stuck them to the 113's tender. We stuck them to Jimmy's truck and the Duke Mobile. Chris's
Yeah,
SUV.
the Duke Mobile, mine.
I wanted
Hold
the only thing that we didn't do that I wanted to do was I wanted to stick the magnet just so it covered the 113, just so it looked like you just put the logo on the cab. Also, it's unfortunate how much the black has faded, and you can tell because of how well it matches the green.
You have the passenger car. You can also tell how much the green has faded.
Yeah,
as well.
also true.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
How dingy that green is.
She also had to jump my car because
Oh yeah, that's right.
my
You
lights
left
were
your
left
lights
on for
on.
whatever reason. Oh my god, Ellis, get the photo from Isaac's.
Oh god, I don't have this. I don't have that.
Hold on.
I don't have like any photos. I took like 5. I did not take much in the way of photos. I just wanted to.
I'm gonna get them on Facebook. Give me. I just messaged Jimmy to send me photos.
I do have a photo of you with Dino Nuggets. Hold on.
Oh my god, the Dino Nuggets! I almost forgot
So
about
Chris
that.
doesn't like sandwiches.
Those aren't normal
They
sandwiches.
are.
damn
There's
it.
like every possible kind of sandwich.
Hold on, I
Except
think
for grilled cheese.
I have the photo. Hold on. I got it. I got one.
Everybody took a photo of this. Because when the waitress can't keep a straight face. Okay, I got it. We have 2 different angles of Chris with his Dino Nuggets. So Chris asked if there was a kid. No, he asked if there was tenders and fries.
Chicken in front.
Tenders and fries. And they said we don't have fries, but we do have Dino Nuggets. And the waitress could not keep a straight face, asking if he wanted applesauce on the side.
He didn't want that either.
Why the hell did Chris?
He got Dino Nuggets.
He got Dino Nuggets. Oh my god.
Oh, hell yeah.
That's hilarious.
It's awesome.
Oh, it was great.
That was so funny.
I'm getting some other photos and stuff like that.
Dino Nuggets?
You also got to, no, you also got to blow the 113th whistle.
I did.
We also got to celebrate Ellis's birthday in the best way possible. Okay.
You know, I normally
hold on,
I
I'll
don't
get the
give
photo
like
in a
retro.
second.
I don't give. I don't give points for things that happen off the podcast, but boy, do I want to. So they told the waiter, "Hey, it's his birthday. Go
Okay.
friggin' crazy over the top."
Yep.
And
No, that's not what I said. No, listen. So Madison came down there to spend a little time, elsewhere.
it's Madison
So
113.
yeah, that's Madison in the 113.
Yep.
So we had decided we were going to meet up at a place we've ate before called the Alberta's Tavern,
Awesome place.
which is an awesome place, all railroad stuff and just good food in general.
Yeah.
So me and Madison had a special pact, a special thing of we were wanting to do. And we had completely broken it because I forgot about it. So I went over and I talked to the waiter who was down here for my graduation as well. He's a great waiter. I still need to go back there and give him like a $50 tip.
Yeah, he's awesome. He
And
really is.
I went over to him and I said, "Hey, that guy over there that sits across from me, it's his birthday. He hates celebrating it. I need you to make it the most loud and obnoxious birthday you could possibly do." And he delivered.
And let me
By
tell
singing
you,
the
this
entire
man,
restaurant.
he does not deserve just an amazing tip, even though I hate it. He deserves a nomination to American Idol. He was awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
However,
Oh my God.
I got wind of this, and I tried to leave. And the table behind us was like, "Can you keep it down?" And I was like, I just sort of sat back down, and I waited for the inevitable. And then I resentfully
You
ate
sat
my
next to
brownie and ice cream.
Like sang and then
Oh
sat
my
next
God.
to him, and oh my God, was it the best. And also I cuddled up against TJ.
Oh yeah, this picture has my disdainful face in it. Just like I'm just staring the brownie down.
And it was the best.
Why? You look like such a grump.
You should have been there, man. You should have been there.
I wish we had, if I had known we were doing that, I still would have recorded that, but that does piss me off slightly. But either way,
Funny, man.
yeah, they all got to be in a 113. I got thrown into firing at the last minute because the actual fireman said, "I want to go to the Bloomsburg Fair," and then decided to go to the Bloomsburg Fair. And,
Wasn't there like an ulterior motive in there somewhere?
yeah, it's his girlfriend or
Yeah.
wife or fiance. I don't know.
Anyway,
Someone who
also,
controls his life.
one other amazing thing that happened at Strasbourg is Santa Claus showed up.
Santa Claus fucking showed up.
Yeah, look at the picture.
Yeah.
I
So-
wish I could get my fucking camera to work.
So we were doing,
because I have a perfect picture of him.
if you remember from 2 years ago during the Pennsylvania special when Ivan read the rules, and then Jimmy like posted that online somewhere and it made its rounds. We decided to do that again, but with this time with some ire directed at 611 for not respecting the rules. And we get halfway through it and there's the rule about if you have,
Shoveling snow.
passengers are expected to be able to get out and push in the case of snow. Although this year there is not much snow, except there is Santa Claus. No kidding, no seriously, he is right there, turn the camera around. And so, we friggin' turned, I was just looking over Jimmy's shoulder and I
A little
see
early.
epic Santa Claus come out of the field. Like, I did not understand why. I still don't understand why. And then he did like a drug deal with somebody in the parking lot.
I was talking with some people, and apparently that's like the Railroad Santa Claus who just came out to see 611. He like, lives
in
over
Santa Claus costume.
there. Yeah, apparently.
That's funny as shit.
That's amazing. I love it.
But
Yeah.
why?
Why the hell not?
I don't know.
For
It's,
the lulz, dude.
it's September. It was the end of
For the
September.
lulz. He's a little early, okay? You can't stop the Christmas
He's
thing.
taking a weekend away from the North Pole.
He has to get away from his ho-ho-hos.
Santa Claus needs to
But he only stopped after 3 of them.
Oh Lord.
I also
The
brought
North
a
Pole
treat.
gets bent sometimes, okay?
I also brought a treat to 611
Why?
because AL8 won.
Okay. 789.
In other news, in other news, the Dutch 500 worked again.
Yep. But
There
it
is a
didn't
photo
work
of it.
though,
It didn't
because
work.
that place
No,
was not
again?
great.
Yeah. Yeah, but there's a photo of it. We're never going to the works again. I actually gave them like a 1-star rating
Ooh.
because that was bullshit. Yeah.
I mean,
No.
we got a squishy pineapple out of it.
No, the racetrack Slick Willie's is different from the works. They're,
Oh, okay.
they're in the same building, but it's a separate company. I gave them a 1-star rating because
Also,
of that.
Slick Willy.
That's the only good thing about them is their.
Yeah.
But 40-mile-an-hour go-karts my ass.
Yeah, right. They were fun until they stopped going fast.
Until they stop, and they're fun if they work, so we can
Yeah.
actually fucking race.
Yeah, I know. It was the same way I call it.
Well, it wasn't, because those were gas-powered carts. It wasn't like they were deliberately slowing us down. It just happened to be that
yeah.
my cart was significantly faster than everyone else's, which is the real trick here.
Yeah. Plus, you didn't have a choice right down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, allegedly, O'Gilly's let me pass him, so...
Either way. That's what's been going on. Also, yeah, I like repainted the 113 for Borough Days and made it look nice, and yeah. That's about it. I've been at Strasbourg a lot.
Neat.
More so than just the past weekend. Hell, the day after 611, I went down to go see 611, and it was 611.
It was 611.
It was such
I
a-
mean, gonna
Yeah.
be honest, pretty cool. One of the larger engines
It
that I've
was, yeah.
seen, and seeing it in that setting is certainly interesting.
really
I do want to go out and see it when I will see it when it leaves. I don't care if I have to take off work. I'm going to see it when it leaves.
Yeah.
But
Did
it's
we
better
have
out in the main line.
Do we have what?
in the news section about the thing that happened 611?
I don't think so.
Oh yeah, 611 derailed.
Yeah.
There's nothing in the news, but it
Okay,
derailed.
It wasn't like
yeah, so-
it wasn't like a crashed off the track and destroyed 3 houses. It's like they
No,
picked
nothing
they
serious.
picked a switch.
No, they didn't.
Well, no,
They didn't actually pick a switch.
they went past
Picked
it
the
and then
frog.
backed up.
No,
No?
no, they didn't. I actually have the picture here on my phone. The front axle, the front pony axle, decided
my
to
ankle
pick
just
the switch
cracked.
at East Strasbourg, a spring switch.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't pull past it, but yeah, it went on the ground. They had it fixed in 20 minutes. I find it hilarious that, of course, it happens in literally the most foam-ridden
Yeah.
place on the entire line.
Yep. Of course.
Everyone was watching on the fucking camera. Like, oh god, you poor fuck.
It was amazing. It was like, what did Weibold say? He's like, the worst part of a derailment is the peepers. It's like, well,
Yep.
in my head I'm going, well, at least it wasn't an incredibly famous engine at an incredibly popular location, which also happens to have a camera pointed at it.
But I have some more photos I can.
That
post
might
here
have been
you
the
can show.
most witnessed derailment in
Probably.
Yes.
in a long time, maybe ever.
Yeah.
Except for maybe the 1953 crash into Washington Union Station, because that's pretty busy. It's pretty busy in there.
Yeah, it's pretty well documented.
Oh, okay. That's not even as bad as what I had originally seen. It just went
What?
It just went plunk.
Yeah, no, it just went.
Yeah, it did work some of our Charlies too. It went bonk.
Yeah, it happens.
Yep.
And then the whole boiler exploded.
Yeah. And it leveled East Strasbourg. Anyway, also TJ almost stole a scooter.
TJ
Oh,
almost
yes.
stole a
He
scooter.
walked out into the middle of a field to steal a scooter and then turned around and came
Oh,
back. Meanwhile, I was up at Carpenter's going, wow. It was so cool, man. And then, yeah, watching 611 go through the fields of grain. Absolutely fantastic. What else is super noteworthy about that trip? I mean, we took the ride on the 425, which was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's always fun. I wish I took a picture of it. This is from a couple weeks ago. I talked to the car host because I got on for free. I didn't have to pay a ticket, and it was nice. Which, speaking of fun things in the future, next Saturday I am going on the fall foliage train with the 425 for free with Lauren.
The fall foliage.
Thanks, Scott. Just fucking ridiculous. We had what the hell was it? I talked to Josh and we said, come on, let's go out in the vestibule. We were the only guys up there. I was in charge of you guys. And we stood in the vestibule while they opened up the throttle and went about 70 miles an hour. I did the calculations between Auburn and Landingville,
Mm-hmm.
the 5-minute time. We were doing about 35, 40 mile an hour.
Nice.
Not
Average.
bad.
Yeah, you could
So-
hear that thing huffing. Like, it was
Yeah,
it was
because
pretty
it has a
impressive.
smaller class now.
Well, yeah.
They called the Blue Tornado for nothing.
It looked as Ivan. Also, there's 475 peeping with
Yep.
the
I
center
took,
mounted headlight.
Yeah, when it was still new.
Yeah,
I mean, it's still new, obviously.
I don't like it.
I'm not a fan either.
I do like it. I think it looks nice. It
I don't
looks
mind
weird for me because I'm just so used to the standard headlight. I mean, either the raised headlight. I grew up with it, you know. But in other news, with me, I found my place.
Yeah,
Oh no,
Oh no.
Yeah,
And
I
I
found
saw
this
Tunk
place.
Tunk,
Christopher
and I saw the
Place.
Concrete Gorge.
yeah.
it's Christopher Place.
Found my place.
Yep.
That is also a
I also
gorgeous picture of the Tunkenuck.
Yes, it is. I climbed on top of the car for that.
Of course you did.
Well, yes, I have a ladder in my car. Why else would I?
Now we just wait to see when we get another excursion across that, so we get some awesome pictures. Give me
In
Steve.
other news of 611, hold on, get rid of that. These are from when it first came in back in August as well.
Neat.
So I went down there to see that.
And you
They
watched
tried to
you
derail
watched
it.
them try to put it in the parking lot.
Oh, I should try and put it in the parking
Yeah.
lot and derail it.
And then they realized, well, this isn't going to go here.
I mean, just gotta say, the noises that the track makes every time they run around the train in Paradise
I mean,
are not pleasant.
No.
we're on camera. I can't say that stuff. So
Oof.
Okay.
let's just say, my statements, prior statements on Strasbourg being able to handle it are not exactly 100%. We can talk about that later.
Very crunch.
I mean, we all heard the sounds that may arrived in paradise the first time.
I didn't because I wasn't there.
Yeah.
Well, you can hear on the cam.
Yeah. You can really hear it on the camera.
Oof.
Yeah, especially with this image.
That just makes me
let's just
nervous
say-
looking at it.
Let's just say that image there, the Pumpkinville Turnpike has some stuff
Yeah.
with it.
Well, remember, you have to lift your feet up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do have to lift your feet up. Let's continue on before I spill more beans.
Okay. You're saying the bridge is coming down. Got it.
Yeah.
It's just going to give out massive train wreck.
Queen
And
of Steam is
Strasbourg,
dead.
and Strasbourg
Yeah.
closes forever.
The end.
Rip.
Yep. F. Anyway, what else? What has gone on lately that isn't Strasbourg?
Well, I got something kind of weird. Strasbourg. On 9 Horsemen route.
Oh.
Oh.
I've been doing some work at one screenshot that I took of this area that I've been working on. About halfway between Strasbourg and Praise. I decided to add a caboose motel. Because why not? Yeah. It's not like the Locomotive. You can buy a caboose. In the Horseman universe pretty
Yeah.
easy. And I also have a forestry and grain elevator.
Neat.
Speaking of trains,
Boy.
I have told myself that the next time Trains 2019 goes on sale, I'll be picking it up.
Do it.
I looked at it a little bit. I'm intrigued. And surprisingly enough, I've actually kind of been wanting to build another route. I wanted to...
Yeah.
Just don't
want
give up.
something to
Just
work-
keep going. I want you to. I want to see it.
Yeah.
I want to see what I'm capable of in the new upgraded platform, because let's be real, 2019 looks gorgeous.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
It
yeah.
really does.
It looks.
yeah.
And, I mean, if you guys remember some of the stuff I did in Tane,
Yeah.
It was pretty.
You could produce some beautiful stuff.
I think we can do some crazy things in 2019, and I want to give it a try.
I want to see you give it a try.
Yeah, I want to see you give it a try.
I have been working on Tolbrand, of course, as I have to do. In fact,
I need to watch Under Construction.
I had a in-depth conversation with Weibold last night about various narrow gauge practices, like how often would you see double heading, and how about narrow gauge to standard gauge transfers. Like, what commodities would you always break it out to? Like, this is the only place in the system where you can transfer this commodity, or that sort of thing, just to get an idea for what sort of operations I'm really getting into with the Geiger mounts.
Milky, sorry to cut you off, Ellis. Milky, are those in 2019?
Yeah, they are.
How does it run?
It runs pretty smooth.
From what I've heard, it runs better than Tane.
Wow.
Even in
that's
the
the
middle
thing
of the
that I'm
horseman route
most
with
worried
siege
about is-
everywhere.
I mean, Tane could run, barely.
Tane could definitely run, but
It could run. It was not
well,
very
on the
great.
other hand, that's another story.
it definitely runs.
Huh.
But yeah,
So maybe they...
Of all the things it
must have
does, it
done
does
something.
do
it
one.
does
of
in
them.
fact run. Also, is that the brand new K&L engine?
Yep.
They did the early Steam temp.
Yeah, I know.
have to
That's what
know,
that
because
is.
I didn't pick out the page. Please tell me, for the love of God, he did like the crappy version that it's actually in now,
No.
in real life.
I don't think
No.
I don't think he would have done like the dilapidated version.
I mean, look, for the one with Approach Media, he did it, so you know.
No, he did not do the one that needs some help. Yeah.
Aww.
Okay. Well,
But yeah, it came with free variants of the Hudson, early Steamtown Kong, Canadian NASA codes. So we already got with something else. Yeah.
that's neat.
But it's still cool. And it's a nice
I can't wait to
little
play
engine.
around with that.
Yeah.
Obviously, I can't use it, but I can't wait to play around with it. Like I said, I've been spending time doing a lot of scenery on Tolbrand, trying to get quite a bit farther. I've made quite a bit of progress on just generic scenery work, just trees and grass and one line of track through the middle of it all.
Oh boy.
And something else I've been doing is continuing working on AI, which has been fun to an extent. As I get deeper into what's going on in Mason Valley and work all the industries out and figure out what goes there and what's coming from there, then it's sort of getting to a, well, we are getting somewhere, but there are some things that are still huge and daunting. One of them being switching out Mason Valley. Now, I've done something similar, if on a smaller scale, on the Olive Branch, and recently to sort of show that off, and to sort of talk about how long it takes the AI to do stuff, and the nuances of the AI, I made a video of the Olive Branch switcher doing its thing. Which was actually pretty cool to watch, because it's been a long time since I've really watched that in its entirety, and to watch it sort of, do this and this and that and this, and also to think through my own programming. Like, if I'm looking at the switcher do its thing, at the same time I'm thinking, like, okay, what's the best way to do this? And then, sort of guessing what it's going to do next. Not really remembering my programming, figuring that it's, thinking, okay, so the best thing for it to do is this, this, and this, and then watching it do exactly that, makes me certain that I've done the right thing, or that,
You've gotten really good at
performing.
At programming the AI. I mean,
Yeah.
I used to be able to do it, but I could never, ever figure it out like you have.
It takes... So I talk about this on Under Construction a bit, which hasn't come out yet, as of this recording. But the newest Under Construction, I talk about this quite a bit because I respond to your comments on that video.
Mm-hmm.
And I talk about how it really comes down to, you need to figure out, what does the AI do? What can the AI do? And it can only do a couple of things, of course. But it's then, how do I arrange that? The hardest part is not discovering the limitations of the AI. When you're doing something this big, the hardest part is keeping in your head where the train is at every step of the way.
Yeah.
If you're rearranging this train, you have to remember that, okay, well, now the engine is pushing a hopper and a boxcar, and there's five empty log cars behind it and the caboose. And so you remember, okay, that's the orientation of it now, so everything, beyond this, I need to keep in mind that orientation. If I'm dropping one car, it's going to be the car in the front, which is the boxcar. And then I have to, get the other car out of the way and put these over here. That's the hardest part, is just keeping in your head this visualization of what's going on as you're programming it. Because to do something like this, when it takes an hour to get to it, or an hour and a half to get to it, the session starts at 6 a.m., the Olive Branch switcher arrives at the forestry at 7:30. So that means there's an hour and a half of waiting before I even know if my programming worked. Any of it.
Yikes.
And then there's the further hour of the programming actually following through. And if something goes wrong during that period, I have to cancel the run, take notes on what went wrong, and then go back into Surveyor and correct it, and then start again. So, the thing that, the best part about it, the thing that made it easiest, was making sure that I can do as much as possible in one run through. Because it just saved me an hour and a half every time, If I can get that far ahead of myself, then I can save myself hours. And as time goes on with Tolbrand and stuff starts to happen later in the day, it's going to be longer and longer each time. So, there's some stuff that doesn't happen until like 10 o'clock. So that means, right now, there's stuff that doesn't happen until like 10 o'clock. So that means if I am doing anything, if I am editing this, I have to wait 4 hours before I even can start watching it. It's a long time. And I've started to set up wait commands and pauses so that the session will get to a certain point and then automatically pause. So I can set it to go, and it'll run the first 4 hours, which I know go off without a hitch, generally. And then it'll pause and wait for me to show up and watch the rest of it. So I can go and do something else. I can even start it and then go to work, and come home, and it'll be ready for me to watch my programming. And I always have a notebook or a notepad document open to take notes of what went wrong and what I can change. It's a procedure, but it's it's more time-consuming than difficult at this point. There's always a few things that like you need to really think around and solve, but at this point in the game, there's not much that I'm doing that's groundbreaking, just aside from the scale of the thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm looking forward to doing some things like that, and to making some of my first sessions. Like,
Do you plan on taking it over into 2019?
yes. So the only reason I'm waiting is because I don't want to move it in the middle of a version. So I'm working on my first portion was just Olive and the Olive Branch, and then my next portion maybe I bit off a little more than I should have, which is the 15 miles along the Gilson Eastern from Olive to Mason's Landing, the 15 or so miles as the crow flies from Olive to the bridge, the Doe Cliff Bridge on the VMR, and
the really long bridge?
The Poughkeepsie Bridge is the Doe Cliff Bridge, the huge one.
Oh, the one up in the mountains.
Yeah, and the 7 or so miles of branch line between Mason's Landing and Mason Valley. So that in total is 40 miles of track, which is a lot to do at once, especially when you're only working on it for a couple of hours a week, because that's all the time I really have. So it's taken me quite a while to get there, but once I get done with that, then I will take the map and install 2019, and then move the map into 2019, and then fix whatever's broken, and then proceed with the next section, which is like 15 miles of Gilson Eastern Main Line towards Bellington, which is the next town. And then hopefully that will go fairly quickly, because it's mostly farmland. It's mostly flat, mostly farmland. So,
has there been any more word on multiplayer surveyor?
I've heard somewhere about it that apparently a while back internal test.
Oh.
But nothing concrete yet. Although MB3 did send out an email saying that they were going to move on to the next phase of beta test for Trains Plus. So who knows?
I got.
So, there's already another version of Trains coming out besides Trains Plus. Did you say?
No, it's like 2019, but
Oh. It's super.
Yeah, it's an exclusive crop. No, if you pay, you get access to beta versions, which have cool stuff like a different camera or a different camera. Triber Surveyor Unified, pretty good. Although I don't have it.
Driver and Surveyor? That's cool.
Unified, like you can swap between the two on the dock.
The train while building.
Yep.
All right, that's cool.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
Anyway, off of keep it the or should I say the boat?
The boat.
Because I reached in the boat.
The boatmobile.
Yeah.
Oh, let me get a picture of the boatmobile. What company made this?
Probably in the books, but Ingall's
Oh yeah.
shipbuilding company.
Ingall's Shipbuilding
Yep.
builds a train. Less successful than when the Zeppelin company built a train.
I don't know.
Also, probably less successful from when the tire company built a train.
Well, that was the same time.
Oh, okay.
Goodyear Zeppelin built the Comet.
Well, Michelin.
A Michelin? Wait,
had
what did
train.
Michelin build? The Aerotrain?
No, you know,
that was GM.
Oh, that was GM.
they
sorry.
built a train that ran on tires.
Oh.
They built it with the guy who founded the Bud Company.
Mm-hmm.
I just learned this the other day. You've seen the pictures of the Pennsylvania Railroad weird white, like small doodlebug thing?
Maybe.
Like it's like not even the size of a boxcar.
Their inspection
Seen
car?
No, it's like a passenger car.
Okay.
Huh.
I'll find pictures of it, but apparently they had rubber tires and were made by Michelin.
Okie dokie.
Neat.
Yeah,
That's
went about as well as you'd expect.
Yeah. Oh wait, I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
It looks like a friggin' steeple on giant wheels. Right?
Yeah.
It was something that had tires.
So anyway, the boat was in service for 20 years, and it was built in 1946.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't a bad locomotive because I would think it. It just wasn't mass produced.
Well,
So,
speaking of beta tests, right? Today is the last day to put in applications for the Transport Fever 2 closed beta, and then we're going to
I
hear
almost forgot about that.
who gets in. So I'm looking forward to, if we have recorded a little bit later, I might even know if I was getting into the closed beta test or not of Transport Fever.
We'll find
yeah,
out.
I forgot that I signed up.
Did you?
Yeah, I did. And
Same
I put my experience as a 2019 beta tester.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When they asked what beta test I was in, I was like, Minecraft and Factorio and
Okay.
what was the third one I said? Kerbal Space Program.
Okay. Count.
They not exactly closed betas. Although no, I did put in Trains a New Era. I did do that beta. That was the worst beta I've ever done.
Yeah,
It was awful. It was so bad.
Damn it! I forgot that I did that too. It was so.
I
awful
opened
that
it
forgot
once
about
and went, "Wow, this doesn't work."
Yeah. Same.
Anyway,
Yeah.
all right. Is there anything else we should cover before we move on to? You know. Oh, we don't even know what we're doing. What are we putting against? What is this thing?
Yeah, we never.
What is
Okay.
this thing?
I've been looking at engine to go up against
Okay,
this
so
boy.
you're gonna fight Eric?
Yeah.
All right, as is tradition.
Okay.
Okay.
You
Well,
did it
anyway,
wrong.
anything else that we
No.
wanna?
Hold up. Hold my beer.
Anything else that we want to cover?
Anything else we want to cover? Oh, I got a VR.
Oh,
It's
Oh.
it's cool.
have you
I
you know
have I,
Have you derailed
tried
it?
you know
no, and no.
No.
It's actually weird. I don't like it. Admittedly, VR, I can live without it.
Well, I'll take it.
I'll buy it all for you for $1.
Yep.
Three,
but,
take
like-
it or leave it.
Derail Valley VR is kind of bad.
Is it?
Really?
Yeah, it's kind of bad.
Ooh, that's sad.
That's a shame.
It's really unoptimized, and it's freaky, man.
It's freaky.
Freaky, man.
But
Doing.
like, I've watched YouTube and stuff in it, and that's really cool. But
Wait, what?
yeah,
How is?
Yeah, you can VR your
I
desktop.
VR my desktop, and
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I thought it was like.
On most of YouTube.
Yeah, I was like, how do you get VR YouTube?
oh, I played
Very,
Minecraft in
very
VR.
careful.
That was really cool.
Yeah?
Minecraft. Yeah.
Awesome.
That is awesome. I've kind of wanted VR. I could probably.
I was on the server in VR.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was walking around my little place with Pandra in VR. That was incredible.
That's neat.
That's pretty neat.
Well,
The only other thing to do with me is I got Untitled Goose Game, which is awesome.
is there a train in Untitled
I
Goose
do
Game?
need to get-
I'm sure there is. I think there is later in one of the later things.
Okay.
But either way, go buy it. It's worth the $20.
How much is it?
I
$20.
Oh, jeez.
$20. That's it.
Oh boy.
Nah,
Okay.
I'm good.
In the meantime, I found my boy.
Your boy.
boy.
Boy. I'm really
That
thirsty.
boy ain't right.
My
And this
throat-
boy is right.
closed.
I have a good picture of it.
Wait, TBA, what did you say?
I said I'm really thirsty.
Get some water.
Alright.
Alright.
All I can
Third
say
drink.
about this picture is coming soon.
Oh, jeez. Your brown 611.
Yeah.
It looks like
Rusty.
it looks like 611 had a kid with a torpedo.
Yeah.
Turbo turd.
It's not for distribution,
This
by
is
the
the
way.
super
It's for
turbo
the-
turd.
No, it's for a music video that I'm in the process of making.
Oh, you're making a music video?
Mm-hmm.
About what?
I can't tell you. I have to kill you.
Oh,
Well, it has to do with 611, so I assume
Well, I don't wanna
it
know
has to do with
anyways.
611 derailing and destroying Strasbourg.
Yeah.
the monster
Not a bad
that
idea,
she
but no.
is.
The monster. You're a monster.
Speaking of your monster, you might want to call him for what we're doing next.
I don't think he's still around.
I don't think he's around. I think he went to do things, because I tried to get him in here just to do that this week, but he wasn't here. So, alright, it's time for Who Wants to Do It?
Locomotive versus!
Jesus Christ. That was actually kind of odd. That was like the Hulk Hogan Locomotive versus. Oh yeah! Or no, or Macho Man
Kool-Aid
Randy
Man
Savage.
Locomotive versus the Kool-Aid Man.
Oh yeah!
Oh
Okay, I gotta get a picture.
Locomotive versus, dude!
Okay, I got plenty of pictures.
All right,
of
what
mine.
are we doing? What is it?
Okay, Eric has the Pacific from Japan, and I have an American Pacific. But
Okay, how
Everyone
big are
knows.
these?
Yeah.
Can we have a picture? Okay, somebody said.
Yep.
Engineer Dave said a picture. All right, let's.
Brakeman Dave to the engineer.
I sent a picture
No,
of not one.
Brakeman Dave got a
Radio's
promotion.
not working.
Hickman Dave got. God damn it.
So this week I am bringing.
Wait a minute, where
the-
are these engines? What are these?
Your worst
The
nightmare.
locomotives.
Well, yeah, I get.
Which ones are you asking? Me or?
No, I know yours is in Japan. What are these?
Okay.
I've never seen these guys. Well, wait, are these on display now?
Yes.
Yes, but actually,
What?
okay.
One of them is.
One of them is.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, actually, sorry to walk back for a second, but I've had a thing sitting in front of me that I meant to bring up.
Mm.
A long time ago, I went to see Flagpole 75 at the Naugatucket Railway, which is, or the
Mhm.
Naugatuck Railroad, which is, I think, the Railroad Museum of New England. And
Yes.
I was very young, and this was probably a decade ago. I still have the t-shirt from it. It still kind of fits me. But I was apparently too young to get, like, a cab ride or anything. But my mom got really friendly with the president at the time, a guy by the name of Howard Pincus. And he gave us his business card, and on the back he wrote, "Cab ride okay." Now, my mom has had this business card for probably over 10 years. And she just found it
Oh,
and gave it to me. So I have a cab ride to redeem.
Wonder, that's cool.
It is,
Wait a
it's
minute.
so cool.
Howard Pincus. I've met him.
Have you
I
really?
know him. Yeah. He came around the A&A. I have his fucking business card too.
Awesome.
I don't think
No.
mine says cab ride okay, but either way, yeah, I have his business card.
That's
Yeah, I know Howard.
awesome. I need to go and redeem my... Is he still president? Do you know?
I believe so. Either way, he's still high up.
I need to go redeem this cab ride. I don't know what they run now. Anyway, alright.
Diesel. They run FL9s.
They have FL9s? Alright, sweet. I want that.
Yeah.
I want that. Give me that. Anyway. In one corner, for Locomotive Error, we have... What is this, a C-53?
yes.
C-53. The JGR, Japanese Government Railways. I can figure it out.
Yes.
C-53. In the other corner, we have The
Showing Pacific
SP-P8. We've done the P8 before, haven't we?
Yeah, we have.
Yeah. Okay. Is it... I mean, is this a fair fight?
We'll find out.
I mean, this is Cape Gauge, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
But it's pretty fat for Cape Gauge.
It looks kind of small. But also...
It looks kind of big to me, but I'm used to trolleys on Cape Gauge.
Okay. Well, anyway. Alright, I'll let Japan have the first shot because they did back in 41, so...
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Alright, this is going to sound like a stupid question to start out with, but what's your valve gear?
Wall shirts.
Wall shirts and greasely.
That doesn't help you.
You only have one.
That doesn't help you.
I have a 3-cylinder locomotive.
That doesn't
Those are
help
Bresley.
you.
No, that does.
Oh.
It's the
Well,
only
that's
thing
still
above
3
the only thing above wall shirts is Baker.
Yeah.
And we know 611 has Baker, but that, whatever.
Oh, the 611 isn't here. 611 cannot save you now.
Well, I'm still a 3-cylinder.
All right, Milky. You can
Okay,
make
I'm
him
not
pay for
gonna
that.
ask that. I'm not gonna add. What is your tender water capacity?
Huh?
Try again later.
Try again. Oh,
Face
you don't.
desk.
You have gallon.
He has
Yeah.
gallons.
I have nothing.
Japan, so he probably has liters.
I have magic, is what I have.
What's your
Magic.
border press? Curious.
Full of the pressure. 203.10.
Wow, I'm at 200.
203.
God, well, hold on. What is that in kilopascals or bar or whatever?
14.
14.
14.
Yeah, it's nice and around in metric.
Yep.
All right, Eric.
All right. Your cylinders. High pressure cylinders.
Press to 25 by 30.
17.72 by 25.98.
Okay.
I don't know how you thought you were gonna win that.
Yeah.
Did you look at these engines?
I looked at my engine.
You should probably
Did
look at
you
his.
my engine?
Should probably have that picture open and just study it.
Yeah.
Wow, that engine's tiny. What are you talking about?
Yeah, right. Okay, Milky. Now you get to give Eric another point.
Yep. Of course. What is your
Mother.
we'll go bait
Oh,
side.
God.
2,877.
3,000.
Seriously?
Okay.
Oh, Lord. Okay.
Okay. And Eric again. Now you give Milky another point.
Yeah. Sharing this turn.
What's your... Oh, do I have... I do. What's your... minimum weight of rail?
Pounds.
Yes.
Thank you, TVA.
Very cool. Very cool.
Nice.
It's more than 0.
A nice round 100.
A nice round 57.
Dang.
Yeah.
Damn, really?
I mean, I'm not sure what I expected.
Is
It's
it 57 pounds or 57 kilograms?
57 pounds. I do all my
Okay.
measurements in pounds unless I don't have pounds.
It's still an important clarification.
yeah. 57 kilograms. Damn, this thing would be chonky. That would be like
Yeah, right.
that would be like 114 pounds for a narrow gauge
Yeah,
Pacific.
Holy shit.
How big are your wheels?
Driver diameter. I assume.
Yes.
Okay. 73, but here's the kicker.
Hmm.
What?
What?
73 and
And a half.
yep,
Nice.
and a half.
Okay.
68.9.
Those are huge wheels for a narrow gauge engine.
Oh yeah.
But you still lose.
If I had that one, I'd be like, oh, my wheels are pretty big. They look a little bit bigger than those. Now I should win this.
It's a matter of scale.
Yeah, scaling.
Yep.
All right.
What is your factor of adhesion?
Yes.
3.33 repeating.
Ouch!
Oof. 4.15.
Ooh.
That's a lot better.
Yeah.
3.33?
Yes.
That's awful.
Yep.
Could be worse. Could be the engine I was thinking about putting into this instead, but
What was that?
it was like a 5.5.
Oh,
Ooh.
What engine was it?
The ONWN 190 or ORN.
Okay. Alright,
Yeah.
Milky. It's 4-3.
43. Okay, what is your driver wheelbase?
Driver wheelbase. 13.06 feet.
Damn it. I'm 13.
Wait, what?
I think it wins that
Hold
by
on.
0.06.
Wait,
Wait,
Milky,
what?
yours is shorter?
Yeah, he is a
I
shorter.
guess.
You said 13,
By-
right? By 0.06.
Yeah, Milky wins that by 0.06. Shorter is better.
I think that's the closest we've ever had.
I guess.
Yeah.
One of them, at least.
Okay.
Alright.
All right.
Well,
I'll take that.
Wow.
Milky, this is the biggest lead that's been accomplished so far. 2 points.
Hey, Eric, who was your builder?
Several, but one of them was Alcos Connectity.
Baldwin.
Really?
Oh.
Oof.
I was like, dang, they slipped in an American builder. Yep.
And then Baldwin.
Then Baldwin.
Oof.
Damn it.
Okay, I'm starting to avoid those particular crusts.
You know what? This is
Oh, boy.
I have a question.
Yeah. Shoot.
If we were
Chris,
to
speak
pit,
up.
if we were to pit, for example, let's say 611 versus I don't know, literally any I don't know, Santa Fe Northern.
Yeah.
Would 611 win because Roanoke is way better than fucking Baldwin?
It's
Home built.
usually home built doesn't win in terms of builder, but it does usually net a person a style point for it.
Okay.
And it's,
I don't know. That's just a weird
They're-
question. Because Roanoke did build things for other companies.
Yeah.
Anyway, Milky.
Oh, continue.
Okay.
It would appear Milky is trying to not step on a mine.
he's
He's dead.
being
Yep.
really careful.
Yeah.
I can tell you right now, don't
Yeah,
ask anything
this
about
is
the
rough.
tender because I know nothing.
It's okay because I also know nothing.
Hey!
Then why did you ask tender capacity?
Because that's the one thing I had.
Okay.
And that and fuel.
hmm
But we all know that I burn freedom fuel. but that's okay. Engine wheelbase for axle crust.
Wait, engine wheelbase?
Yep.
32.81 feet.
35.50.
Why did you think you would win that one?
I don't know. I won with driver wheel. Yeah.
I guess. All right,
Okay.
Eric.
I'm just gonna go down the list. What's the ratio of driving wheelbase to your overall wheelbase?
0.37.
Wow. Okay. 0.40.
Eric wins.
Yay. Overall wheelbase.
75.80.
57.91.
Dang. Eric wins by like 20 feet. Or no,
Oh, God.
15 feet. All right.
Axle loading.
Axle loading. That one I do have. 60,700.
33,995.
Nimble boy.
Weight on your drivers.
180,000.
180,000? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Okay. 102,008.
And 8. Okay, Eric's taking a lead of 2 points.
Woohoo!
boy.
Okay.
And you thought this was going to be a washout.
I mean, I just was asking.
Yeah.
Robin Leo's made power
All right, and here's
computation.
where it all falls down.
Okay, 14,080.
Oh god. Oh god.
It's still sad. That's still sad. 14.
7,104.
All right, that's not good either.
Oh,
Ooh, backs up.
okay.
Flex tape can't fix that.
Yeah.
Like, all right, I'll win this category. No.
Why would you? No, you won't. That's wrong. All right, Milky.
Okay. Hey, Eric.
What?
So what's that Chatif effort you got there?
I have 30,660.
Okay. 43,367.
That is surprisingly close. That is like
Yeah.
concerningly close.
Oh, if I did one of the other ones, it'd be way closer.
Okay, Milky.
Okay, what's your firebox area?
163.61 square feet.
283.
Oh god, here we go.
Yeah.
Great area.
34.98.
70.40.
Jesus. It's like twice as much.
Stop,
Okay.
stop. I'm already dead.
No, he only has 2 points up on you.
Vapor
1,680.
3,352.
Wow, that's sad.
Stop.
That's
I'm
sad.
already dead.
That's sad. Eric, what did you say like 30 seconds ago?
What did I say 30 seconds ago?
Like, and you thought this was gonna be a washout. Oh yeah, I did.
That wasn't. I didn't say that. That was Milky.
I'm sorry,
Well,
Milky. What did you say 30 seconds ago?
yeah.
Alright. Alright, Milky.
Eric, do you even superheat?
693.
Okay. 860.
Okay. We have 20 points
Uh,
on the board.
Should be combined heating surface.
2,373.
Oh. Okay. 4,290.
Yep.
You know what? For good old times, evaporative heating surface divided by
151.03.
I'll be right back, guys.
196.66.
Okay.
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 I asked.
Yeah,
I did my due diligence.
did ask. You know what? You know what? How bad could it possibly be? How many of you would build?
97.
God damn it.
That's less than I thought.
15.
Also, for the record, Eric called this a rare one.
Yeah.
There's almost 100 of them.
Yeah.
They build 100. This is the only 3-cylinder locomotive.
Where on SP is 1 out 1?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah, well,
Eric has the ball now. It's 9 to 14.
Doesn't matter.
It's
that's
9 to
gonna
14, Eric.
Yep. When were you built?
You know what? I'm a grandpa. I was made in 1921.
1928.
I was being around that bush for a while.
Well, now it's 10 to 14.
We did that. We did that. Killed me there. Ah, fuck. The only thing I have left are everything out of the computations. Okay.
That can only go well.
Power. I know. Power empty.
Power MT.
I don't think they get it, Ellis.
663.
1,187.4.
Wow.
Hold on.
Hold on.
Nani?
Yeah.
I'm about to end this whole man's career.
Alright.
All right.
You gonna try that
Power
again?
L1?
18,069.
Oh, wow. Okay. 18,315.
Uh-oh.
Ooh.
Okay.
You're in a zone of danger.
Yeah.
There's only 2 questions left. So it really doesn't matter which I ask.
Okay.
All right, so same as above, but substitute firebox area for grade area.
68,486.
42,866.
Could have just not asked them.
And like finisher with superior percentage. Alright, same as above.
9,165.
17,037.
Oh. Whoops.
Big oof.
It was almost within 2 points again.
Okay.
But now it's 12 to 16.
It's okay, because it's time for style points.
Eric, do you have a power rebirth?
I believe I do.
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
Okay, I have
You have what?
boosters.
He has a 3rd cylinder.
Yeah, you both get a style point for each of those. I'm not calling them
Yeah.
equivalent, but I'll say, those are a pair of valid things. Oh crap.
Question.
Okay. Yep.
Were you streamlined?
No, that was my cousin.
I was streamlined.
Really?
Yes.
Picture?
It's the doorstop!
Oh my god, damn it! That should be negative points.
That,
Picture of
It's
it,
still
damn it.
streamlined. It's still streamlining.
Yeah, it is.
that's a non.
Eric, put a picture in.
Okay,
We
yeah.
need to
no.
share the
Sure did
doorstop
happen.
with the world.
I'm trying to find a good picture of it that's not like tiny.
If I did the P10,
That's a drawing. Ah, well, that won't work. Let's go back. Oh, go back to it.
Eric, how many of you won?
0. Nobody wants to run a
One.
locomotive.
2472 starts from call.
Oh my god, it's that thing!
The
It's
doorstop.
No!
Oh no!
No! Can I retract a style point just for how ugly it is?
Yeah.
No. You
Why
cannot.
is the dynamo out on the outside? Why?
It's a freaking.
Uh,
It's like a missile pod or something. Like.
Yeah.
Thank you, TBA.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Accurate. I have doors. They're flush, but I have them.
You have doors? Oh yeah, you have doors.
I have.
Milky, do you have
Eric,
doors?
Did you get me a side picture?
I'm sorry.
Did you get me a side-on picture?
Sure, let me get one.
Milky, do you have doors?
I'm gonna have to look at pictures of the one on display to figure that
It
out.
doesn't look like you have doors. I mean, it looks like you could.
Milky,
It looks
you
like
also
you
get a
could
side
have
picture.
doors, but it does not look like you do have doors.
Survey says no. Yeah.
No, rip. All right, Eric gets a
I'd
point
like
for.
to give Milky a stop point for a 6-axle tender.
Yeah.
Well, 6-axle tender trucks.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
Is
Thank
that?
you.
Is that? Eh.
If I recall, they were. I want to say they had rollers.
They look like Timken rollers, but I can't tell because I don't have a sight on.
It's a neat looking.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Okay, yes.
Oh, so that's how that looks from the rear, the doorstop.
Oh no.
Oh no.
What?
I'd like to give Eric a style point for having double-sided cylinders. I can't remember the actual technical term for it, but the
The
extension
balancing
rods, that's
rod or whatever it's called.
what- the extension rod,
Yeah.
which increases power. Oh God, that's like a Crusader back.
Tuh.
The Crusader had a similar style
Cool.
back end.
Also,
Like
it looks
literally,
like
all they did, they riveted the frickin' streamlining to the actual tender. They didn't just.
He just
You
welded
you
it
could
to the side
you
of
could
the-
see the outline of the side of the tender in the streamlining.
Oh my God, that's great.
That's
That is
so
amazing.
bad. Hold on, I gotta show the viewers. This is the back of it.
It's actually not bad.
Also, it looked like it had a giant fin on top of it. At a
They
glance.
had to They had to open it.
Yeah, to
in
get
order
the
to
coal in.
I'd like to give Eric a style point for having 2 ladders on either side, as compared to 1 on the back of an SP tender. I know how they all are.
I guess that's an interesting thing. Yeah, I'll say that.
Hold my beer.
Uh-oh.
You
Uh-oh.
can prove we have 2 ladders.
There you go. Check.
Oh, damn. Milky's got 2 ladders.
He got two ladders, alright.
There, 2 ladders. They're coming to your town.
Also, those are not roller bearing tender trucks.
No.
Those are friction bearings.
Does the... You have... can I call that a
Who are you
backing
asking?
light on the Japanese thing? It looks like you just have brake lights.
Yes, you can.
Okay, so you both have a backup light. I don't know why yours is where it is. It's not going to illuminate anything.
I was gonna actually give a point for having 2 of them
I do
instead
have
of just
two.
1.
Yeah, I guess you have 2 of them, but they don't look very good. So, I'll give a point for that, I guess.
What else do we got that looks interesting on here?
You also have, like, ditch lights in the streamlining? I don't know what to call them.
I think that's just lights.
Yeah,
Those are.
I mean, extra lights. I'll just give a point for extra lights. It's, you know,
Would those be
Okay.
considered classification lights?
I don't know, are they? I don't know what they are.
No, that'd be the
I don't
lamp
know
rack.
either.
They're just more lights. You have
What I'm trying to figure out is if I can get this picture.
What? No.
Is what in the hell is this thing on the left side
I already
of
got that
the
out
boiler?
The window.
Yeah, I got that out the other week.
what is on the left side?
Yeah, that like bulbous thing.
That's the dynamo.
Is that a horn? Oh, that's the dynamo.
That's what Chris said, at least.
Oh,
Yeah, like why? It looks like a dynamo. I don't know what exactly.
I'm not
I
sure.
agree. It looks like a dynamo. It also looks like a cluster of like sensors that you'd have on an aircraft. I don't know why you would need that.
Do you know if it's either that or it's a large boat whistle? It's one or the other.
could be.
Dude.
I would like to give Milky a point for Pile National because Baldwin.
That's right. He does get a point for Pile National. It's been a while since somebody's brought that up.
Baldwin had the Pile National contracts. Let's see here. What are we at? Who's winning?
Wrong button. It's 18-17. Milky's up.
Ooh. Wow, that's close. That is close.
Ooh, this is really close.
Mostly due to streamlining.
Eric, do you have any idea of when?
Of when? Go ahead.
No.
Finish it.
When you were retired?
Oh boy.
Retired. I was retired. I gotta find the page for it. I've got like a million pages open. This. Okay, there.
Look at the. When was the Japanese?
I don't.
When did the Japanese stop using door stops and switch to fully automatic doors?
Yeah.
Does it say on here when I was retired? No, it doesn't. That's odd.
Milky, when were you retired?
1957.
That's pretty late.
You know what? Can we give Milky a point for having a bell? Or can we give Eric a point for not having a bell?
I was retired in 1950.
Ooh, that's early.
Okay. Yeah, that is true.
I really expected later than that.
Yeah, I know.
Eric, do you really not have a bell?
No, it's Japan.
Japan.
We're like the only rare
locomotives
bells.
that not have bells. The early ones did.
What a bunch of losers.
Okay, then never mind.
What?
Uh,
Wait, what did you say about bells?
Technically, they do have a bell. I just don't know where it's located.
There is the hypothetical existence of a bell.
What is that underneath the pilot, Eric?
Which picture are we looking at here? The non-streamlined
one. What is underneath the pilot beam there?
That looks like an air reservoir.
The streamlined or the non-streamlined?
The non-streamlined, I think.
Non-streamlined.
Thank you. Let's see here. Where's that side image I had? I'll back up. Yeah, that's the air reservoir.
It's an air reservoir.
That's an interesting place for one.
I mean, the L1 sort of agrees with you.
Yeah.
And also
can
the
we also
I1.
give him a point for 3 cylinders?
I gave a point for 3 cylinders.
Okay, can we have a point for two different types of valve gear?
Is that a style? I mean, I guess that's a style. I mean, I guess that's interesting.
Yeah, to have the Gresley streamlined, or the Gresley stuff for the 3rd cylinder, because that stuff works the best.
I mean, I guess it's interesting. I'll give it.
Can I give him a point for brass? Shiny brass and brass pipes?
Nah, not really.
Okay.
Nah. I mean, it's got some shiny stuff on it, but the SP has some nice looks too.
Yeah, if it got washed, it would probably have.
Yes,
well, the SP.
But you have. Do you have red side rod?
You do.
I have white.
Yeah, Milky has red trim though. On the windows.
I have red side rods, completely red.
Duh. No, but Eric, you know what? I will give you a point for that combined with the fact that you've got window shades on the front. On the front. Yeah, everybody has shades on the side, but you have shades on the front. Which is interesting considering that's also a door. So I don't know how that works exactly, but
yeah.
Magic.
Yeah. Well, okay, here's the question. How many survive?
1.
2.
Yeah.
Oh,
kind of expected that.
really? Damn it.
Yep.
So that means Milky has a better survival percentage as well, because he has less than 100 of them. Okay.
Yes.
If it were 19 years ago, I could say that both of them were running, but
Yeah.
with
Yes, I would like to destroy Eric now.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
2472 has run excursions with mainline locomotives, has been to rail fair 98 and 99, I think? Or 97 and 99? Well, whatever, both of them.
91.
Yeah,
Yep.
both of them.
It ran, or 2472 ran on the Earth train and the Toys for Tots
the
vessel.
Earth
train,
train.
which is the Earth Day. I remember I saw that in a
It sounds so
Pinterest.
stupid.
Yeah.
Enamored.
Mine is a point for that. Come on.
The Earth.
That is the complete the backwards reasoning of having an Earth train. Come on.
Well, yours found its way back to the
Oof.
Oof.
Uh,
Okay.
give Milky a point for double heading with 4449, and I believe 844 as well.
I will give him.
and another one to me.
I will give this class a point for going to a lot of events. I'll say that much.
Oh,
Eric,
okay.
do you operate?
No.
No.
I think I said earlier that nobody wants to operate a 3-cylinder in Japan.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. I understand.
Santa Fe did over here, but
Well, now it is 22 to 19.
but that's not the same. And
Well, it was close.
yeah,
I mean,
Question: do you have elephant ears?
we already did streamlining.
Oh, okay.
Elephant ears are different than streamlining. Elephant ears are elephant
I'm
ears.
just gonna call it. I roll it into streamlining. If you have a streamlined version and an elephant ears version, it's effectively just streamlined stuff.
yeah.
Man, it's hot.
And no, I don't.
Right now.
Oh well, anyway. Well, do we have
Do I
anything
an
else?
all-weather cab? I think I have an all-weather cab.
Do you?
Well, figure out quick before we end.
Yeah.
I'll give you 10 seconds. 10,
Well, hold on. Now I have to
9,
put some of the
8,
cargos.
7, 6,
It's gonna be more than 10
5.
seconds.
4,
Yes.
3, 2, 1. All right, that's it.
Time.
Duh, all-weather cab.
Okay.
Okay. I'm
Okay.
an open boy. Yeah.
Is it all?
You also work in California.
Wait a minute.
Yes.
Is it all-weather cab? I guess it's sort of.
Where
No, it's not an all-weather cab.
winter time does not
It's not.
exist.
It
No,
looks like an
no.
all-weather cab.
No, it's not. I'm
Sure.
looking at the picture of the unstreamlined of 3510 right now. It's definitely not an all-weather cab.
Is this one bigger? No, it's not. Okay. Although, what about this on the back of it here?
I
There's a
mean,
back picture.
maybe when they added the streamlining, it would.
This isn't a streamlining one though.
No. It's
No?
No,
it's
there's
not.
definitely a hole
Because you,
there.
yeah, you have to step out into the open to shovel. Basically, is the difference here.
Yeah.
Okay.
You probably have a curtain, but a lot of engines had that.
Well, you know, like the 113 does not have an all-weather cab. However, she has curtains, and she has the back of the cab, like the wall behind where you sit.
Yeah.
All-weather cab is that wall does still exist. However, the tender comes right up to it makes a T with that wall.
Yeah, it's a good.
I'm gesturing with my hands, but you can't see.
Generally, the giveaway of a all-weather cab is that there are
The
actual
door.
physical doors in the side of the cab that you have to open and close.
Okay.
You know,
Well, they made
Wonder
they
what
well
10
okay
has an
well
all-weather
they made a
cab.
postage stamp.
they made it neat. We're there. We're
That's-
good. Unfortunately we're not.
I'm clawing at
Yeah.
things.
Yeah, 3254 is an all-weather cab. That's a good example of an engine that does. Anyway,
So does 10.
oh yeah,
Well, every
it's easier to do on a tank engine.
Yeah.
That's a little easy.
Okay, so the P8 wins 22 to 19. Let's cast our
Close.
votes.
Milky wins.
Milky wins. SP.
Yay, Milky!
I don't know who I want to vote for.
I vote for Milky because SP.
Okay.
And because you've seen one of these.
Yeah, there's one in Sacramento.
Yep.
I vote for Eric for just being unique.
Yeah, okay, and since he's got that pity point, I'm going to vote for Milky, because I actually kind of like the look of these things, even though they have Vanderbilt tenders.
They are very stylish engines.
Yeah, they're good-looking engines, even despite their shortcomings.
They're nice old then.
Not that old. 20s is
You know,
not
they're
that
one
old.
of the few They are one of the few engines that I don't mind the Vandy on. Because usually I hate Vanderbilt engines.
Yeah, you know what? I kind of agree with you. I can overlook the Vanderbilt because of how nice these engines do look. Anyway, alright. I recently saw a picture of an actual Russian decapod, not like a Russian decapod that was exported from the US, but like a Russian locomotive that is also a decapod. And I thought it looked really cool, and I would love to pit that against a American Russian decapod, just for lulz. But anyway,
Good.
that's a thought for the future. Okay, so
It's time.
it's time for the news.
Terminus news.
I'm gonna go take a piss quick.
Okay, have fun.
Have
So-
fun.
Well, I'm gonna fall in.
Yeah. Do you guys know, or have you ever heard of the concept known as flight shame?
Flight
Oh.
shame.
Flight shame.
And they.
It's when
Is this when you shame somebody for flying on Southwest or something?
no, but that's applicable sometimes. I also fly. I also fly Southwest whenever I get the opportunity. But what can I say? I like the unassigned seats.
Well, what is this?
What is
Tell me
flight
about-
shame? Flight shame is people who are particularly climate conscious realizing that flying is really inefficient. And if they have to fly a lot, they realize that their carbon footprint is massive. And I didn't even really think that too many people thought about this. But then it got brought up on the Rooster Teeth podcast, because Gavin was talking about how many hamburgers are equivalent to him taking a flight back to London. And
How many hamburgers?
yeah, like the like the CO2 cost of, growing a hamburger's worth of cow, that sort of thing. How many hamburgers are equal to a flight to London? And it turned out
What the fuck did I come back to?
it's like 600.
Oh,
So
also welcome back, Chris.
600 hamburgers.
yeah, something
That's a
like
lot.
that. And so I was like, okay, people actually care about this, I guess. So I decided to include this and at least bring it up because there's a, flight shame is a concept to the point where it actually has its own word in Sweden. It's flygskam. In Swedish.
Wow.
It is one word. But
Flygskam.
flygskam. And it's just the comparison of that versus things like taking the train. It's any reason to promote Amtrak, but and it's an interesting article. It's it talks about just how expensive flights really are in terms of the carbon footprint of flying large planes. So
Yeah.
take Amtrak. This actually was brought
Next
up.
time, take a
This
train.
actually was brought up, and it's funny, right? Did anyone take the article about the Texas county wanting more Amtrak?
I don't think so.
Where did that go? So there is an article. It's buried somewhere in here. I'll probably find it, but there is a county in Texas that is seriously advocating for more Amtrak service.
That's high speed rail.
Yeah, no, it's in here somewhere. It's got to be in here somewhere.
It's got it.
I'll be right back.
Okay. But they do bring up in that article, it's like, Amtrak taking the train it's not just a cost-effective thing to do, it's not just a good thing for these people that are living in the middle of nowhere, Texas, but it's also relatively environmentally conscious. And I was like, it's funny that Texas is bringing up these things. I feel like if you get Texas on board with the Amtrak, thought process, then you suddenly have a lot more weight behind more Amtrak.
Yeah.
Not the first people I would expect, but it's not the hero I expected, but it's definitely the one we need right now. So, Go Texas. Anyway.
Okay, I'm
You
here.
know what people aren't going?
Where? What? Huh?
These foamers that got into a crash.
Well, they're going
Ooh.
straight to the
Good boy.
mechanic, I would think.
Yeah, they're going
By
to
the way-
mechanic.
I really, really wish we could include this as a crash from UP because
it's totally their fault.
it is a crash. It is completely their fault.
It's so okay. Tell us about this pile up.
So it was a 6-vehicle crash in Barrel, which may or may not have had anything to do with the world's largest steam engine.
Yeah,
The big boy when it rolled through.
They just happened to all be on a frontage road.
Yeah, it was a Ford pickup, 3 SUVs, and a vintage car and a passenger car.
I don't know what the vintage car was. I looked in.
Does not specify.
I looked in the article and I could just like barely make out a sort of square-looking car. It didn't look like a Volvo, so I wasn't really that upset.
No, it just looks more like minor fender benders.
Yeah.
Except for maybe that Ford or that Chevy and that.
It's not like anybody
SUV.
went flying, but they said people got towed away. So I'm really confused as to how serious this was. It's kind of impressive that they managed to get 6 cars in here, but
Yeah,
I don't know.
it is.
It's an awful long wait for a tow.
Yeah, no kidding. Imagine
Yeah,
we
it's
need 6 tow trucks out in the middle of nowhere by the UP main line.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What? How did this happen?
AAA just hangs up the phone.
Stop.
Yeah. And don't call AAA if you're down in Florida and you get hit by Brightline, because I'm sure they've heard that one before.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they have.
In fact, we had 2 for Brightline. Although, so one was a vehicle, a 2008 black Corvette, which that's kind of sad. Also the person died, so that's also sad.
Oh.
And the other one is an effing Maserati. He tried to beat the train. He tried to drive around the gates and beat the train, and
for the man.
he also died.
So you're telling me Brightline's stepping up the game and now is attacking high-end vehicles?
Yeah.
Got it.
Yep.
If you're in a 2001 Ford Bronco, you don't have to worry about Brightline. But if you
You'll beat Brightline.
if you're driving off the lot with a brand new Camaro, it's coming for you.
Yeah.
It'll be watching you from your house.
Yeah.
Oh
But,
my God. Brightline
yeah.
just can't
Also,
catch
that's
a
what
break.
those lights.
It's 2 more. It's 2 more in the last month. It's
Oh,
2 more
boy.
fatalities in the last month. And the last one, the conductor was taken to the hospital as well. I don't know what the hell happened, but I assume that when they hit the car, the guy just went flying and smashed his head on something. Like, what? I mean, eventually you figure we're going to run out of people, right? We're going to run out of people who are trying to do
Eventually, yeah.
this. But it's incredible that month over month, week over week, this continues to happen.
Yeah, it's been going on for how long?
It's been going on
Months.
since before Brightline opened.
I'm
Yeah,
beginning
it's
to
been
think
going-
that Brightline is a hoodooed railroad at this point.
It's just
Since
Florida.
Brightline opened in Florida, dude, every week there's been Brightline's killed somebody. Brightline killed another person. Brightline killed another
Virgin
person.
Trains killed someone.
It's more than once a month. It's more than once a month.
It's bad, bro.
It's getting scary, is what's happening.
I mean, it's not getting scary. They're not coming for you. If you're not an idiot, you don't get hit by the train.
Okay?
It's just don't take an Uber in
I-
Florida.
Then there's Florida is just retarded. There's a lot of idiots in Florida.
For the man.
Listen, if you're a Floridian, we're sorry that you live in Florida.
The best part about Florida is the Gators, and nobody likes.
The best part about Florida is Disney World
Nah.
Nah.
Yeah.
and college girls
Yeah.
on spring break at Miami Beach, and also the
Yeah,
and also the
sure.
Kennedy Space Center, which I almost just called the Kerbal Space Center.
Okay, yeah.
But anyway,
Anyways.
speaking
can
of
we talk about how
Virgin,
you-
no, hold on,
think
Virgin
it's-
Trains.
Okay.
Somebody brought up Virgin Trains. I just want to say that their deadline was extended, and wow, we have like no. We get literally one line of this article. The group originally had a September deadline, so September has passed. Apparently, their deadline has been extended, and
Very nice.
good for them. I mean, I'm rooting for them. They just keep killing people. It's not their fault, but people keep dying. Anyway, Eric, what were you saying?
Can we talk about how Union Pacific's apparently overvalued?
Can we also talk about how Union Pacific is on the list of the top 10 worst employers?
Yes.
And it's not only on the list, but he's the worst employer.
Yeah,
Ooh.
it's number 1.
Really?
Number one.
Sorry, it's top 20. You have number 20, Forever 21, 19, Xerox, which I forgot was an actual thing. 18 is Charter Communications. 17 is The Children's Place, which I don't know what that is. 16 is
It's a
Compton.
clothing store.
15 is Regal, so Regal Cinemas. 14 is Dillard's.
Oof.
13 is LA Fitness. 14 is Steak and Shake. 11 is Conduent.
I have no idea.
10 is Family Dollar, so oof. 9 is Alorica, which sounds like it would be a... With a name like Alorica, I'm expecting that it's actually a pyramid scheme.
Is Walmart on this list?
8 is Speedway, I don't know. 7 is CDK Global. 6 is U.S. Security Associates. 5 is Genesis Healthcare. 4 is Frontier Communications, which I don't even know. 3 is The Fresh Market. 2 is United Biosource. And 1 is Union Pacific.
The worst
dear.
employer.
The worst. Going from reviews on Glassdoor, only 12% of UP's employees approve of the CEO, and only 22% would recommend the company to a friend. That means
Ooh.
almost 80% of employees are saying, don't work here, which is no surprise, Eric, that they're
They are overvalued.
overvalued. So basically, sell, sell, sell. And also,
Sell,
if you
sell,
work there,
sell.
get out now.
Get out, please run.
That makes me wonder why it's so bad.
I don't.
Speaking of Union Pacific,
Uh-huh.
and in the Northeast,
Uh-oh.
something is happening big boy related out east of the Mississippi. For the first time since about at least 1985, 4012 has not only moved, but is getting torn down and completely reabated. Everything. They are doing a full, not operational, but they're doing a full cosmetic on it.
Not operational, yeah. Jesus Christ.
Not yet.
They were able to disconnect the tender and
What?
reroute the tender.
They disconnected
Yes,
the
and-
tender?
You can't do that!
And they spun the engine on the turntable, which is surprising to know because I did not know 4012 would fit, or a big boy's engine would fit on a 90-foot turntable.
I mean, the big
I'm
boy
surprised
is
the engine moved.
well, anything will move
anything
with enough
will
grease.
move with amount of grease.
Yeah.
Well,
Anything
yes.
will move with enough grease.
But holy cow, they're doing an abatement on 4012.
They're doing an abatement. They unhooked it. They put it over in a back shop, so that's where it lives. Also, the articulation still works, which is a good thing.
Again,
Otherwise, it
anything
would
with
be
enough
trouble.
grease.
Yeah.
I was amazed that they
So-
got it on, that they managed to do it. I mean, the springs were bent the wrong way. Like, what are they... Oh.
I have
What?
no idea how good of a restoration this is going to be,
I
because
don't
that
know.
needs a lot of work.
As long as it
We
gets
can-
a half-decent paint job and goes out there and looks good, like, that's fine.
Yeah,
It's-
that's
I don't think anyone's...
that's what it is.
nobody's expecting them to be like, and if we, we're done with it, but if we put a little bit more in it, we could run it. It's going to be like, okay, it doesn't look like junk.
I mean, it is in fact missing a couple things. So,
well, nah, it's...
they're currently in a boxcar in Colorado. So well,
Wait,
What
where
if
in
it was in the
Colorado?
boxcar that we found playing GeoGuess?
there's a boxcar near where they make beer.
Oh, okay, yeah, gotcha.
Speaking of Colorado, I'm going to keep this train moving.
I have some Colorado stuff too for when you're done.
I have a lot of Colorado stuff, but you can go off after I'm done. Speaking of things that were supposed to go to a place that we're near beer is making, 493 works.
Where near beer is making.
493 is steamed up for the first time since the 1960s and works. And sometimes
On
with a
oil.
whistle without having any earplugs. And it works on oil. And I actually have a picture for this, if you could please post this. They used 18's tender.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Which I find hilarious. Where is
When you're missing the tender assets on the train, but you don't feel right down.
Right.
Yeah.
When the
Right
tender
there.
asset is broken.
Please show that.
I'm going to show.
It's one of the most,
It looks so
it's
funny.
like the most hilarious thing.
Somewhere there are several old railroad execs that are rolling over in their graves.
Yep. Speaking of narrow gauge, the East Broad Top is doing a thing.
Woohoo!
Which I'm not going to be going on. I've decided
The
against.
East Board Top.
All right, you get a point for
They
that.
are going to be offering. They're going to be doing a photo charter that's limited to 30 people on November 2nd at 1 p.m. and continuing
When
the
is
evening.
November 2nd?
Cost is $149. They're
Cheap
dragging 17 out on the turntable, doing a night photo shoot.
Dragging.
Dragging, yes, and running the M1 up and down the line because it's like the only thing that can actually work.
I mean, I don't know
So-
what else you would expect out of them right now. I
don't know, they could
certainly
do a
didn't
couple
expect
other things.
this.
Yeah,
No.
and this is not like the Friends. This is by the East Broad Top Railroad Company.
Nice.
This is not the Friends.
I feel like they're doing it right, you know? They waited
They are.
they waited enough time, you know, nothing happened for quite a while, of course. The Friends have been working. The Friends have been doing their thing.
Well,
But
it's the right of way is still kept clean and maintained
Yep.
and weed sprayed, and it's something that most railroads don't. It's still kept clean.
yeah, but that's the thing. It's like if they
What's
did
that?
this all the time, if they did something similar to this, you know, regularly, I feel like it wouldn't garner nearly as much. It wouldn't have nearly as much impact as this does right now. Because this is
Yeah.
awesome. It's been a while since we've seen anything really substantial out of the EBT, and the fact that they're doing that is super exciting because it has been so long. Like that's
Mhm.
you know that's the best thing about this, and I think they're really playing their cards right now. I'd love to see more out of them,
They are.
but with the limited resources and limited manpower and limited money that they have, this is great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
give them time, Alice.
Yeah.
Speaking
I've
on other
got
narrow
nothing but
gauge-
time. You know me. I'm a fan of Steamtown. I can
Yeah.
give people as much time as they need.
Speaking of narrow gauge stuff, 168 got her boiler jacket and then ran.
Yep.
Steamed
Yeah.
up and then ran. I'm not going to cover each one of them individually because that's quite a lot of things to
Bye,
cover
Chris.
individually. However, 168 runs. There's a T12 running in this world, and it looks beautiful.
It looks really
Hey,
pretty. It really
I'm
does.
really looking forward to seeing it next year.
Yeah, and I'm hoping to see it with some other engines.
Yes, let's hope.
Yep.
Speaking of things that are near those certain other engines, I'm keeping this train rolling. Colorado, the Colorado Department of Transportation is somewhat close
That's not.
to buying Burnham shops in downtown Denver to do stuff with, whether move I-25 or open up a front range passenger service or do
All right.
like
all right.
literally anything.
So
Literally anything.
let me fill in for Wybold here because he and I had we chit chatted about this a bit, and he's obviously not here to talk about it. But I have the other article that goes
Mhm.
with this, which is in the next year, I think, there is going to be a vote on there's probably in 2020 there's going to be a vote on a development plan for front range passenger rail. Now, CDOT would need something like Burnham Yard to do something like this, which is ostensibly why they're trying to make this move. It's sort of a preparation, but there's more than one reason. So, preparation for something like front range rail, of course, they would need a yard like this for. The other thing is, if they own this yard, they can basically force a reroute of some of the traffic through where Burnham is right now, some of the rail traffic through where Burnham is right now. And that means they can tear up the rail corridor that runs parallel to it, which is the more heavily used one right now, and, like Chris, you just said, expand I-25 in the area. So this is a multifaceted issue, but the most important thing is to... What?
So this company that is like a public transportation railroad.
Yeah, this is CDOT.
They want to do it they want to buy it for passenger service.
Well,
Yeah. Well,
this is the Colorado Department of Transportation. They're staging a vote on running passenger rail up the Front Range, which is north-south in Colorado. So from like Fort Collins in the north, through Denver, Colorado Springs, Pueblo, and to like
cool.
Trinidad and La Junta.
So something like O'Gilly's is with
Exactly.
the front runner.
Exactly. And that would really be a boon for them. It would
that'd
be
be
a
cool.
great place to do it, and they don't have really an equivalent right now. So and that's sort of, CDOT has not exactly been super transparent about the whole thing, because really who would expect them to be? They're trying to, they're looking at buying this huge piece of land. You don't necessarily want to let the cat out of the bag as to what you want to do with it. Is that Wild?
The
No.
Terminus
Yeah,
podcast.
We were just talking. I was in the middle of talking about CDOT and Burnham.
Oh, okay. Yikes. Ugh.
Yeah.
I don't know what the deal with that is anymore.
Uh-oh. You have
CDOT
more information?
Well, I mean, what have you said? Essentially, I don't know that I have any more information.
Okay, so I was saying that, in conjunction with the Front Range passenger rail vote next year, it could be sort of looking ahead to that, and also the rerouting of the traffic to expand I-25, and
yeah,
and basically the things
as
that we talked
unfortunate
about.
as unfortunate as it is, I think saying that it is, they're getting this railroad facility, A, for the Freeway project, and B, maybe in the future they can use it for front range passenger service. I think that's giving them way too much credit,
Well,
unfortunately.
I sort of agree. It's not like they're master planning this.
No, this is a large plot of land that, honestly, I would expect it to play out as follows. They buy the land, they bulldoze it, they build the freeway there, and then 10 years from now they go, oh, I wish we hadn't done that.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Because that's how it always goes. It's how all of this works.
Hindsight is 20.
Well,
Yup.
if we see this vote as, if they do buy it, say they buy it optimistically in the next 6 months or something,
Right.
that would be quick.
Right.
You wouldn't even really.
Well, they've said they plan to close a deal by the end of the year.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's pretty quick then.
Yeah.
But
and currently, I don't know if you mentioned this, Union Pacific is exclusive to the CDOT deal right now. There's no competition. It will only not go to CDOT if their deal falls through.
okay, gotcha.
There are other buyers, but they have been sort of pushed out in favor of CDOT for the time being.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense because, well, the state has that power. The state is leveraging their interests.
Sort of, but as we've established previously, even with Burnham as one of the prime pieces of evidence, Union Pacific does not give any about what the state of Colorado
That's
thinks.
also fair.
Yeah.
That's also true.
Union Pacific is pretty done with us.
Yeah, well, we just talked about how they were rated the worst employer in America. The worst
I
people to work
read
for.
that. That is...
So,
Yikes.
we love UP here at the Terminus podcast.
Do we?
Yeah,
No.
Since when?
I'm starting to not like you.
You're just starting?
Anyway,
No.
so
Yeah.
Shall we talk about some happier
UNSF is
news?
better.
well, sorry.
Uh,
It depends what the
Yeah.
happier news is. I wanted to say that that if this deal closes as quickly as it does, and then we see the vote in 2020, and the vote passes, then I think CDOT would probably immediately move to reserve this land for that purpose. Because then suddenly, then they're about to be saddled with the responsibility of, well, now we're going to have to run passenger rail.
Potentially.
Potentially. It's a lot.
Again, I see it as it's probably going to wind up with they're going to do whatever the hell they're going to do, and passenger rail is at the back of their mind.
I guess.
They're not thinking that far ahead. I wish they were.
I would expect that it's not maybe at the front of their mind right now, but if the vote does pass, there's going to be a lot of pressure on them for it. And unless they already have functional plans as to what to do with Burnham Yard in terms of a highway expansion, which I doubt they would, because again, things don't go that far ahead most of the time.
Yeah.
Then basically the railway plans and the highway plans are going to be not necessarily in direct competition, but they're going to be happening at basically the same time, and then you could see them being molded into one project.
Yeah.
You know, if there is the pressure on them to do this from the vote. If not, then I could believe that. You know, I could believe that CDOT puts basically I don't mean to necessarily phrase it this way, but the public interest, which is if the vote does not pass, the public interest is clearly not with a railroad project. So they would just prioritize the thing that people seem to care more about, which is the highway issue. So it will see. I do think it relies heavily on what happens as the result of this vote. So we may see a pretty big indication of what's going on within the next year or so.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, that's fair. At this point, we don't know. The good news is, and I think I mentioned this to you, was that last?
I don't know. Whatever we
If
talk
CDOT does acquire, if CDOT or the state does acquire Burnham, at the very, very absolute least, Burnham's chances for survival go through the roof with the state as compared to Union Pacific. If for no other reason, then you can whine to the state and make more of a difference than whining to the UP.
The state is, like I said, the state is at least beholden to some people. You know?
Yeah, and as we've established, the Union Pacific does not care.
The Union Pacific is also beholden to some people, and those people are called the shareholders.
Yeah, those are people that are money hungry, and
And also the worst company to work for in America.
You know who else is money hungry?
Who?
Amtrak. Because of course they are.
Oh,
What else is new?
And, well, what else is new is that millennials are killing something else today. It's, you know, first it was Applebee's, then it was, like, what's...
Wait, we killed Applebee's?
You know, Applebee's and Chili's
quite a bit
and,
of Amtrak
and Olive
news
Garden.
this week.
Hooters. We killed Hooters.
We killed Hooters.
All right.
There's quite a bit of Amtrak news this week.
Yeah.
Was this the thing that we were joking about in the Horseman group of the meme with the guy sitting in the chair and the other guy with the gun that shoots him?
Yeah, exactly.
How can millennials do this?
Yeah, so
Okay.
Here's the thing. There are a few articles here and a petition about the loss of the Amtrak dining car. They are cutting the hot dining service on all long distance trains now that have fewer than 2 overnights. So basically, a train that has a single overnight, the Lakeshore Limited and the Capital Limited already don't have hot dining car service. That would be the City of New Orleans, the Cardinal, the Crescent, and one other one that...
Essentially everything excepting the Transcon.
Yeah, exactly. Everything excepting the Transcons and the Starlight. So...
Okay, so
This
that
seems like
kind
a
of
bad
explains-
idea.
Because this article talks about Amtrak's new food options.
Yeah, the new food options.
I was really
Food
confused.
options. Brackets.
Cars, but they're coming out with new food.
The options are microwave airline TV dinners. Basically, it's it's not going to be made to order food.
A choice between sandpaper and nothing, I suppose, is a choice.
Yeah, it's the new option. So
it's what's for dinner.
the crew on the train goes to the closest Walmart when they pull to the station.
To be fair, when we had the busted dining car on the Southwest Chief, that basically happened. We ordered
went to Walmart.
We ordered I think it was like Papagino's for the entire train. Instead of having
Nice.
That's awesome.
it was awesome until you consider that it's because we didn't have a functioning dining car. Anyway, it was kind of funny in hindsight, but that's the thing.
What was the pizza guy like?
I don't know.
Well, that doesn't. You don't get crap like that happening on planes.
That's one of a kind. That's
Well, that's the thing, though. That is that is a great way to point out
You'll never forget it.
where the issue lies, because they had to get that food for the sleeper car passengers. Because the sleeper car passengers, as part of their ticket, they get meals in the dining car for free. They get breakfast, lunch, and dinner included in their ticket. The coach plebs, which was like me for most of the Amtrak, Madison and I were sleeping in coach most of the time, and we got last dibs on actually getting a slot for going into the dining car in the first place. And we also we had to pay for our meals, of course, which makes sense. But compared to the price of a sleeper car ticket, the meals are not an insignificant portion of that. I mean, the meals on Amtrak, they aren't super expensive, but they aren't the most reasonable thing. You are on a train.
Yeah. You were a captive audience.
You're a captive audience, and it is kind of pricey to run a dining car.
As said, your choices are sand and nothing.
Yeah. Well, not with the hot working dining car.
Yeah.
So
I remember when I rode the auto train, I had a very nice selection of food. I think it was chicken and steak, and then something else.
Yeah, the food is pretty good.
The food was amazing. It was like, oh my god, this is absolutely amazing. And a matter of fact, I forget the name of it, but we actually found a type of rice that we now love here because we took the train.
That's pretty neat.
I forget the name of it.
Yeah, so
yeah, that's cool.
So yeah, that is a normal dining car service, and yeah, it isn't the cheapest thing in the world, but it's not terrible. But you'd think, right? The dining car revenues are calculated by, you take the money you're taking in for the coach passengers that are paying, and then the appropriate cut of the sleeping car passengers' fare. But that's not the case.
Makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, the sleeping car passengers, from the finances of the dining car's perspective, they eat free. So if you're looking at Amtrak's accountant's perspective of the dining car, the only money coming in to the dining car is from coach passengers that are buying a meal. So they have left out a huge chunk of change, possibly the majority of the money that
I would wager the majority
is
of money
generated by
3 meals.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That is generated by the dining car, and so that's why it looks like the dining cars aren't making money. All right, and not to say that they would be making money, but it's why it looks like they're losing so much.
That is some genuine Rio Grande level bullshit right there.
That's exactly what I said. It sounds exactly like the Prospector.
Yep.
Chris.
We lost Chris.
Yeah, Chris died.
Oh.
But
you know what else died? Iowa Pacific.
Oh god, here we go.
Here we go.
Here we go.
We haven't talked about this yet, have we?
We haven't. Guys, but it's okay.
Crumbs.
It's okay. Everybody, all the Iowa Pacific railroads are going into receivership except for one. And that one is the Mass Bay Coastal. We have a winner. Victory Royale.
Wait, what?
Winner, chicken dinner.
Yeah.
No chicken dinner. You get Uncle Ben's ready rice because the dining car's gone.
Actually, they also move mostly garbage, so.
Well.
Yeah.
So,
oh
boy.
Alpha 2 wins.
Continuing on with all this Amtrak. Amtrak never gets to...
And we're going to pass over all
No, we'll come back around Iowa Pacific. We've got to talk about that because that's huge news.
Yeah.
Okay, Chris is back. Okay.
What's your Amtrak?
Amtrak is... They're still talking about hinting long-haul route cuts.
Yeah.
Oh, they'd love to.
So they still want to cut all the service out.
Mm-hmm.
They're waiting for it.
They're waiting for a good excuse. They're waiting for, like, a hurricane or, a tornado.
Or a horrible accident.
Yeah.
Or someone getting food poisoning.
Oh, man. That's kind of stupid.
It is.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it is. I mean, also, TBA, here's this article that I was trying to find. Here's the article with the Texas Wants More Amtrak.
They still want to kill
Tark.
the Empire Builder.
Yep.
If
they want to half the Zephyr.
Like
this is how the airline people think. Is essentially the beaching mentality from the 60s come back in spades. Because now the gains don't go to the government, now the gains go to your pocketbook.
Yep.
Yep.
We should do something about this.
Well, I mean...
Wasn't there a petition?
I mean, there's a petition to save the dining car. Fat lot of good that's gonna do, but...
I was gonna say that's done a lot.
Yeah. Like...
Petitioning doesn't do anything.
We need a protest. Let's go stand on the train tracks. Wait.
Yeah, wait a minute. Let's see.
Who is that article? Because this is for everything.
Yeah, where's
got
the Kentucky thing?
I got it. Kentucky coal miners.
Hold on, wait, hold on, wait. TBA, what?
Yeah.
Everybody just needs to take a vacation and go ride the train.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Kentucky?
The Kentucky coal miners have finally ended their protest. However, the coal train is still sitting there.
They've ended their protest,
Right.
but that doesn't mean they're working.
PSR can't account for protests.
Wait, the one that they stopped and, Bernie Sanders bought him pizza or whatever.
that one.
The train is still sitting there?
Yes.
It's not going.
By the power of PSR,
This is not the power of PSR. This is the coal miners being stiffed. This is not PSR. We have an article on PSR bad, but this is different.
Which is actually a really good read.
Yeah.
Speaking of people being stiffed, SRI was stiffed.
Oh, they were very stiffed.
They were they were stiffed a lot. In fact, $227,000.
Jesus.
That's a lot.
You wonder why you haven't heard from SRI lately.
And
Yeah.
if Ellis, if you could please open up this article and show her face,
Why?
No.
because
This isn't
Oh,
Florida
God.
woman. Yeah, because people
it
look good in
looks like a
mugshots.
Florida woman.
Like, okay,
Because people look good in mugshots.
like
That should be... There's a title.
No, I'm pretty sure the title of my hat stepped in poop.
no, the title right now is
Oh.
6'11" Santa Claus.
Yeah, okay.
No,
Okay,
didn't we
by the
have
way,
two kids on
she
the
has
train?
been ordered. She has been sent to prison in order to repay the $227,000.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Which I'm not exactly sure what the reasoning behind. I mean, obviously, yes, please give the money back. But how
Give the money back?
how are you going to repay it in prison if you're
Well,
not making?
I mean,
money?
you can still, if people land on your property, you still collect money in prison.
Yeah.
I suppose.
Thank you.
No, what else? I don't really have anything else I can bounce off of that with.
I mean, it's just like, she's ordered to repay the money. Right. From where? Like, I understand that,
Yeah.
of course, she's being ordered to repay the money. That makes sense. Expecting her to repay the money, I feel like now you're going into the realms of fantasy. Somebody who embezzles $200,000 doesn't just have $200,000 to give back.
Obviously.
Well, I spent it. Well, yeah.
I love it when bad people get what's coming to
Yeah.
them.
Speaking of that PSR that I mentioned earlier, we should probably talk about that article.
I mean, yeah.
We should get through the rest of it.
It's a
before we
really,
get into
I mean, it's a. Where's the article? You have it?
It's down at the bottom of the doc.
It's just down here. It says PSR bad.
Yeah, that's
Question
it.
mark. Is it? Can I actually read it? Okay, I can. Yeah. It is a good read, but let's talk about some bankers thing. Let's go talk about Iowa Pacific. How's Iowa Pacific doing
Yeah.
these days, guys?
not
Never
Not good.
feeling so good.
No,
Dark.
Dark. So
Yeah.
it started with the Slurge and Mount Hood.
And then
They realized that everything else was FUBAR.
Yeah.
Like, everything else.
Mm-hmm.
So if anyone wants to
Except
buy, some Iowa Pacific equipment, now's the chance.
Or a railroad.
I was gonna say, or Iowa Pacific.
Yeah, or Iowa Pacific.
Breaking news: G&W buys Iowa Pacific.
They renamed a Union Pacific 2 Electric Boogaloo.
yeah.
They just run in Iowa. That's it.
We've risen to the occasion. We shall become the most hated employer in America.
Yeah.
No, you can't have that. I want that.
You can't fire me, I quit.
Yeah.
Me next week.
Yep. All right, here's
Oh my god, Kavon, almost.
what did Kavon do?
Oh my god, it's
Oh, Jesus Christ!
I hope you're just going to see that.
showing everyone what we're talking about here.
What on earth? What's happening?
Look at the horseman.
Go to the horseman. Go to the horseman.
Oh, the horseman.
Yep.
Yeah.
I should make this the thumbnail for the podcast instead of the normal thumbnail.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Wow, that's amazing.
You know what that is? You know what that is?
What?
That's a fender bender.
There's our title. Like, that's a fender bender.
Oh my god. I'm sorry, that's just too good.
Oh, boogity.
Anyway, so, you know,
boy.
people are crashing. Iowa Pacific's totally bankrupt. But, Milky, what is the bright spot in this whole thing aside from...
You can't stop the Mount Hood. You parking lots can't stop them. We ship can't stop them. At this point, I think you're going to need a whole army to stop the Mount Hood Railroad going out of business.
So, it's not that they are not going out of business.
You need the fucking NASCAR drivers to crash in front of it.
I can't stop
I really like this. It's the companies in receivership. The railroad's owner is in dire straits.
Yeah.
Most of their equipment is on sale on Ozark Mountain Rail Car.
Yep.
And
I'm
meanwhile,
looking at the list right now, actually.
Meanwhile, the railroad is like, right now, as far as our daily operations, it's business as usual, says the general manager. It's like, hey, has anyone told you you're going bankrupt?
I hate to speak in memes constantly, but this is the dog in the room on fire.
Yeah, exactly.
Fine.
This is fine.
This is fine.
It's a Mount Hood is like reports of my death have been greatly exaggerated.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay,
Meanwhile, the Slurge is like, we're still running.
We're kill me.
They ran a passenger train. I saw the unit. It was like an AC 6000, one of the big CSX units. It was quite hilarious.
That's the photo we determined was photoshopped.
Yeah.
No, it isn't.
I mean,
know it's not.
The photo is.
A friend of mine was on
The photo is.
The
concept
event
may
is not. I don't know why they needed to make a bad Photoshop of the event when there are other pictures from of the same thing that are fine.
Lord.
Anyway, do we have anything? Do you have any bad Photoshops? Do we have any bankruptcies?
Whoa.
We have some lawsuits.
I have stuff for sale. You know what? I have stuff for sale.
Is it
fact, I have
stuff
two
from Mount Hood?
No.
Oh,
Is it a 280? Is it another 280?
It involves a 280 in a long way. In Corriganville? That town in Maryland.
in Western Maryland.
The iconic farm at Helmstedter's Curve on Western Maryland Scenic is for sale.
I don't think it's that
as
iconic.
for
I've never heard of it.
It is
I have
very
no
iconic.
idea what you're talking about.
A lot of pictures have been taken there. However, hilariously, this is all great, except for the fact that they're not even running trains because they're audited and they're actually out of.
Ooh.
Well, I mean,
It's
you know.
great that it's for sale. So if you want to buy a farm, you could buy a farm. If you want to buy
No,
Legos, you
Iowa
could
Pacific bought the farm.
Yeah,
Remember that.
all right, sorry.
Yeah. If you'd like to buy Legos, you can spend all of your money on that as well, rather than a farm.
Bible.
Shut up. I don't know what you're talking about.
The
Another
Reading,
news,
the
my
Reading
caboose is
T1,
finished.
the Reading T1 is for sale now. It's for pre-order.
That's right.
It is partnered with 2100, and it's a model of 2100,
Neat.
and there's a picture on the website of the Lego 2100 next to the real 2100, and it's quite hilarious. And
How
they
many times
also
did you
did
say
coaches.
2100 in one sentence?
Yes.
You say it.
They also did coaches for the Stewartstown, Maine Central, Boston and Maine, CNJ, and Reading in both schemes, in both flat green and two-tone.
Yay,
I'm
two-tone.
considering buying just a coach, because fuck yeah.
So, if you've got $1 million and
Yeah.
Yeah,
would like
you
to
can
get
own
into the
this.
wonderful world of Lego trains,
Yeah.
I
these
am
are
still
available
considering
from
buying
Brick
this.
Model Railroader. I don't think you clarified that.
Oh, yes, thank you.
Well, there's a
Sorry.
link.
There's a link.
Well, I mean, if you have $1 million, you could also take part in an auction. Right, Milky?
Yep. The Indiana, at one point you could.
Yeah.
Try it. Yeah.
This is over now.
I mean, there's
isn't
still leftover stuff, though.
Yeah.
it? It's
Former,
scrap now, yeah.
we've been following the Indiana Transportation Museum for a while now, since they've liquidated, they're correct.
Yeah. Well,
We're
they
calling
got
that.
thrown out and had to get rid of it. That's
Yep.
Yeah.
they're trying to auction it all off, and some of
But
it's
they
sold.
did sell, they did sell a U.S. Army or U.S. Navy boxcar, a Penske boxcar. Like, we didn't have 9 million of those.
Who's buying boxcars?
Milwaukee Road refrigerator, an outside brace boxcar, and a PRR RPO. Like, we also,
Aw.
But-
This order.
but still safe. Still safe.
I mean, yeah, it's good that this stuff is saved, but it's
yeah.
leaving behind like an FA, FB set, like a bunch of coaches.
An F7 AB set, a steam Kenworth
F7
car, a PRR Pullman Super,
Yep.
and 2 Santa Fe steel coaches that I thought were sold, but they didn't.
No, they did not.
Who's buying boxcars in this day and age?
Call me in 5 years.
Like, tourist roads don't have. I'm surprised the coaches didn't sell, as opposed to the boxcars. That seems strange.
I don't know. People want freight equipment. I don't know.
Relatively speaking, coaches are boxcars are easier to deal with. Not that you're going to do anything with it, but if you're just trying to put something on display to show off, a boxcar is a lot easier to take care of.
I guess.
Well, speaking of boxcars, Sumter Valley and Colorado Railway are partnering up to save 3 SP narrow gauge boxcars. One,
commas.
Okay.
That's not meant as a dig against the organization. That's just they're not like in imminent danger like the IRM stuff is. They've just been purchased by Sumter
IRM?
and person in Colorado.
You are being
IRM.
saved.
What?
Please do not
Whatever.
resist.
If IRM was joined under the new boy.
Yeah, that's a ooh no.
Wrong I blank M.
Well, I.
Them. We all know who I meant.
But anyway, Carson, Colorado is receiving C1, which I believe was a crew car, boxcar converted to crew car, and Sumter is getting boxcar.
Neat.
Number 12 and 20. And they're currently raising funds to acquire them. But by full confidence that they can do it. Yeah. They're both very capable groups.
Yeah.
Also on the note of Carson, Colorado, I'm not sure if this has come up, but 18 is headed home.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I didn't.
Yay.
It's probably home by now.
It should be, at least. Well, maybe the tender isn't, but the engine is.
Yeah, we talked about that.
18.
Yeah. Sorry.
The ultimate in narrow gauge heresy.
I was saying there are executives rolling in their graves somewhere.
We didn't hate the SP.
No.
If it was a Santa Fe tender, then General Palmer would be doing backflips underground.
Well, speaking of the DNS,
But it wasn't, so F them.
speaking of the DNS, real quick, I just want to make note of the article. I mean, we've definitely talked about it before, and I think nobody's surprised that it's going in this direction. The DNS has filed a motion to dismiss the lawsuit, blaming it for, or the lawsuit not blaming it for, but making it pay for a significant portion of the damages to, for the 416 fire.
Railroad has effectively told the U.S. government to go and screw itself.
Good, because this isn't the world of massive flying theory.
But basically the basis for their argument, of course, the basis for the original lawsuit was that the state and the feds are basically required to seek recompense for money spent in putting out a fire that was set by someone or something that can be identified. And the company official's response is that the state law allows for recovering actual damages, but because the fire didn't burn any structures, there were no damages. So, it's, as expected, this is going to go to a judge, and the motion has been filed in the past couple of days, and we'll see where things go from here.
Yup.
I personally have been saying I would expect a settlement. I don't think either side is going to completely back down here.
Yeah.
Because
I would expect the railroad to settle for not very much.
yeah. I mean, because I'm sure the government is under no illusions that the railroad isn't just going to be able to pull the money out of nowhere. Just like the woman who, is going to repay $200,000 from somewhere.
Yeah. While in prison.
And while in prison, exactly. But
What?
a lot of this is just dancing around. I'm certain of it. It has to be done. You can't let this happen and then not do anything about it. So you go into the suit. You say you owe us money. They say, well, we can't pay that.
The railroad says no.
Yeah. And then you sort something out. So,
yeah.
Anyway.
You know what else has been bouncing around?
What?
Very well bouncing around. A P&W freight train across from the museum derailed.
Oh, I was wondering why this was so relevant. I was across from the museum. Yeah. Did it come for you?
It tried.
That sounds like a personal
it tried to make a right way from the main line to ours.
Did it cross any ditches?
Not yet.
No, you can't cross the ditch. Remember,
cross the ditch.
The ditch is impassable.
Yeah.
We woke up and it was over here. It doesn't make sense.
But anyway, at like 1 a.m. in the morning,
the
train derailed. Yeah, that's good. And the worst that happened damage-wise, besides a few cars on the ground, was a utility pole got knocked over.
Oh no, not the utility pole.
Did they knock out power? Because if they did, oof.
Yes.
Oh. Do we want more lawsuit drama? Because I have some more lawsuit drama. Except this is even smaller.
I just want to talk about restoration.
No, we're gonna do this. So,
Okay.
This is now the legal podcast.
So I got to see Monson Railroad number 3 up at the Sandy River and Ranger Lakes Railroad. I had the joy of seeing it operating there, and the engine was returned to the main narrow gauge, and I heard from somebody on the main narrow gauge that, well, we're not going to give them that engine back because they broke it. And
Oof.
the SR&RL Museum is now suing the main narrow gauge because they say they invested more than $144,000 into the locomotive and the 15-year contract, the 15-year operational contract that went along with it. So they want their money back because now they're not going to be able to operate number 3. Because it went back to the main narrow gauge because they wanted it back, or they, whatever. I just learned this. Originally, the agreement was that the Sandy River Railroad would act as the general contractor to restore number 3 because it was actually slated to be cut in half and used as a museum display, like a cutaway locomotive. And it was transported to Phillips in order to save the engine, then it was restored, and then it operated for a couple of years. And work was complete. The main narrow gauge provided the Phillips organization with an operating agreement for steam locomotive number 3, effective June 1st, 2016. And but they say that. So here's where it comes apart. Here's where the issue lies. the Sandy River Museum put in this $144,000, allegedly, without the knowledge of the main narrow gauge. So the main narrow gauge
So they
apparently
just did it?
the main narrow gauge apparently did not know that this $144,000 of work that needed to be done on the locomotive got done or needed to get done or something.
Probably a mixture of both.
Yeah, so it's sort of a confusing situation because it was brought to Phillips and with work needing to be done on it, and I thought that it appears that was agreed upon. Okay, sorry. This is where the discrepancy is. At the time of the agreement, the parties anticipated necessary repairs as only requiring the replacement of boiler tubes and other miscellaneous work, but as repairs were made, it was discovered more restoration work was needed, including restoration of the firebox. So they needed to do firebox work on number 3 to get the engine back up to snuff. And that the SR&RL did. They just did. I guess they didn't inform the main narrow gauge that they needed this, but the main narrow gauge appears to have been peeved over this work being done, because it was a cost overrun, basically, to the restoration work contract. So basically the SR&RL charged the main narrow gauge more than they otherwise agreed upon, because there was more work than agreed upon that needed to be done to bring the engine back into service. So then the contract was broken, the engine went back to the main narrow gauge, and the Santa River Engineering League is now suing because they took the engine away. And they
polarity ensues.
So, boy, that's a messy one.
That is a real mess.
So, we'll see where this goes, but I'm really upset that this is happening in the first place. Because you guys know how important it is to have these little operations working with one another. I think the littler you go, the more important it may be.
Yep.
And these guys are pretty little.
Yep.
As the SR&RL, I really wouldn't want to step on anybody's toes, because they do not have much going on. And it's a shame, because they have a really great spot. They're in a really historic location, but they don't have much going on. And having the steam engine was, like, the best thing that they could have. And so I assume that this is my assumption, I don't want to drum up the rumor mill too bad, but I assume that they're kind of in dire straits over this thing and the money that they spent. And, they expected a return on their investment. And now they're not going to get it, and that's going to put them in danger. The SR&RL needs as much help as it can get. And it's only a handful of really old guys, and they're in the middle of nowhere. So it's not even like they're the cats in the middle of nowhere where you get a long journey. It's like a half a mile.
Not even.
Yeah, it's small. And it really is a shame the way it is, but yeah. So I'm going to keep an eye on that as it unfolds and sort of report back. Of course, I love my main narrow gauges. I'll make every excuse to go and see them. So I will try to keep on this whole thing. Now, if we want something more lighthearted, the Long Island Railroad debuted the M9s, which are their brand new electric multiple units.
Ooh.
The M9s they've been a long time coming, and they've caused a lot of foam, as you might expect from the brand new units. Now, there's a video, which is one of my favorite things to come out of.
I know.
One of my favorite things to come out of Long Island since crossing the Sound on the ferry with Wybold.
Oh, God.
And it's a guy filming a brand new M9 coming into one of the train stations on Long Island, and the conductor opens the window and flips the guy off. Why? I don't know, because it's Long Island.
Why not?
Because
New York.
according to the
That is
article,
why.
The article, the conductor apparently said, "I told you twice already, stop filming, the cops are on their way."
That's hilarious.
All right.
Right.
Also, it was FanRailer, who has 336,000 subscribers. So,
Oh
Oh my
God.
I've met that guy. Oh my god, he's an asshole.
Yeah, well,
definitely not good for quote. Definitely not good for publicity, considering the LIRR literally just tweeted asking for people to take pictures of the M9 train. Lol. The caption of the video reads, "Thanks for keeping me entertained, though." And of course, this got a lot of traction naturally, and
Pun.
that wasn't what.
Pun.
That wasn't a pun.
Yes, it was.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was.
Hush you.
So, of course, the Metropolitan Transit Authority's spokeswoman had to step in and say, "The conduct in this video is completely unacceptable. We expect our conductors and all employees to behave professionally at all times. This incident has been reported directly to supervisors and it will be investigated."
No,
And hopefully the supervisor got it, crumpled it up, and threw it in the trash.
most likely,
It's
yes.
just hilarious.
And we can all just move on with our
This is
lives.
hilarious.
Speaking of unveiling new things at commuter railroad,
Oh, here we
something
go.
completely unexpected and out of the blue happened.
nobody.
Transit now has heritage
Literally
units.
nobody. And
Literally nobody expected this, and it's great. NJ Transit now has an ALP 46A, which is an electric engine, similar
Yeah.
to the AS-64, painted like a GG1, where the lines don't match up and annoys the fuck out of me.
Yeah, I know. And if you look at it from the
Has
cat, if
been-
you look at it from the front, it looks like a cat face with the whiskers. I
It
just
does.
need to say that.
And the rack of money that has
The
quite
ALP 45 DP, which is, I think a diesel. I think it's a diesel. Probably DP stands for diesel, but either way, is painted in Erie Lackawanna, where it also doesn't line up on the bottom stripe.
It's
But that
close,
does look
but
really classy.
it's closer, but still
No
doesn't line up.
cigar. And they repainted an actual heritage unit, an XCNJ GP40PH.
Could this be the first actual heritage unit to be a heritage?
No, it is not. Yeah, the Norfolk Southern did for Conroe Shared Assets at Erie Lackawanna SD45.
Oh yeah,
However,
that's right.
it's hilarious that both of these are in New Jersey.
Yeah.
The only thing they did not do is change the number back to its original number, which I believe is 3507
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
on the CNJ. But it is really cool. And some of the pictures that came out of it, because they also, this is their Family Day event, that they basically their company picnic
Yeah.
for all their workers. They were bringing locomotives or something up, and they were passing by the URHS, the United Railway Historical Society of New Jersey.
Bless you.
And they had contacted them about bringing units to Family Day, and they had brought CNJ, what's it, 1534, the G7, and E8, which I believe is ex-Burlington or something like that. But it was the first unit to be painted in the not NJT scheme, but when they first, it's what it looked like when they first started 40 years ago. I do believe they are planning a Reading thing. I know they brought the Reading FP7 up and a couple other things. But it was really cool to see all this stuff together. And I am going to be making a trip to New Jersey just to see these.
Yes.
Yeah. That's why I called you, Ellis, when I was at Strasbourg. Ellis, we needed to go to New Jersey.
You're like, you called me up. We're on the drive home. You're like hollering, and I can barely tell what you're saying. You're just like, we need to go to New Jersey, and I'm like, why do we need to go to New Jersey?
Heritage Unit.
It's Heritage Unit.
I mean, look, I've never done this, but this is fucking cool. I want to go see Tuscan Red under Penzi wires.
Yeah,
you know,
it's neat.
Pretty neat. Speaking of NJ Transit, now we're gonna go to some bad stuff about them.
Oh boy.
Oh no.
They had to cancel trains because nobody. They had to cancel 29 trains because they didn't have enough.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Bless you more.
If you'd like to move to New Jersey and be taxed to death,
Oh,
because their taxes are like higher than California, it's insane. My uncle showed me his. Oh my god, it's ridiculous.
And it's not even like you get anything good from it. You're in New Jersey.
Yeah. Oh. But yeah, if you want to go make bank on the railroad, you can go work for NJ Transit. Pretty cool. Yeah, it's insane. They're bad. But Also, speaking of bad news about New Jersey Transit, because I'm keeping this rolling.
They've got
Oh,
cheap gas,
boy.
though.
They are the engineer who crashed in the Hoboken train station has got his job back because he won his court battle.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, good for him, but
Good for
I mean,
him,
bad
but
for people
it makes me a little
Yay.
nervous.
Yay? Question mark.
Okay.
Yeah, get your job
so-
back.
Let's talk some restoration news then.
Okay, IRM is doing stuff for the Electroliner.
What's the electroliner?
It's a multiple unit electric engine. Alright, well, interior, yeah.
Oh, that thing. That ugly
yeah.
thing.
Hey.
Hey. Oh,
To
God.
me, it looks ugly.
But,
Yeah, yes, yeah, it's ugly, isn't it?
It's like the comet had cancer.
Yes, exactly.
The
Ugh.
comet-
No, it's not
yeah.
like it had cancer. Sorry. It's like it was exposed to a very warm heat source and sort of melted a little. It looks like did anyone ever have that? The color reminds me of did anyone ever have that Crayola thing where you put bits of crayon in and it would melt them down and turn them into new crayons?
No, but I know
Because
what
it
you're
looks
talking
it
about.
looks like
but I
the
know what you're
results
Mine
of that.
exploded. Mine exploded.
Yours exploded. I still have mine somewhere.
I put too many crayons in. The wire melted.
and, well,
And it lit on fire.
even more, Mid-Continent Railway Museum, 1385 is going well.
What is that?
It's a Chicago Northwestern 10-wheeler.
Neat.
That, I believe, got a new boiler.
That
Yeah, I
does
did.
look like a brand
Well, they
spanking new boiler.
finished the boiler. They didn't get. I mean, yes.
Well,
Finished it.
yeah.
And they put it on the saddle.
Well, it's good.
But good to see something
Speaking
good.
of, I'm gonna do a lightning round to finish up my news because I actually have some things I need to take care of here.
Okay.
I need to do some of.
Okay.
So, to continue on with what we were talking about, I gotta scroll up past it. Age of Steam 643. Oh my god, it moved. Oh my god, they separated the tender. Oh
What?
my god, it's actually gonna be produced. Oh my god. That is their most recent thing. You can check that out. In other news from Sugar Creek, Moorhead Norfolk 12 went up into Sugar Creek for their festival and just showed up and sat there with the caboose, and it was really cool.
Well, that's cool.
Ellis, I need you to put that link back because I didn't have the other link open.
Oh, crap.
Thank you.
I thought you were about to segue
Overclock-
to it, so I just took it.
Well, no, I didn't. I was about to, but yes. Let me open up the other one before you steal it.
Listen, I already have that one. I was...
Across the pond, Great Western 28 will return to Steam. It is part of the National Collection. I have no idea what class of engine it is because there's no picture.
There's a picture of, like, the side of it, sort of.
There's a picture of the tender. So, GWR 28 is coming back.
Yay.
Cool. And Jim Thorpe and Renegade Northern are in another pissing match again because apparently Randy Muller didn't pay his taxes.
Taxman.
Nice.
Two Taxman by the Beatles.
Yeah.
Basically, what this comes down to is Renegade Northern owns $95,971.39 to the county of Carbon, Pennsylvania, because they did not pay their amusement tax.
Is
tax.
a tax on any manner or form of entertainment. Well, if you could successfully argue that trains aren't entertaining.
They could, however, it is under the Amusement Act of Pennsylvania. And it is.
Chris, to answer your question of what kind of engine 28 is, it's an 060 saddle tank.
Listen,
Oh, cool.
people fall asleep on trains all the time. Just have you been on Amtrak? It's boring. It's not amusement.
Either way, so yeah, and not only this is not the first time they've been having issues with them, or they've been at odds with them. Because let's face it, this is already Northern's issues. I'm not going to lie. They paid $600,000 for a flagger.
What?
The county paid for the railroad for a flagger for the construction site.
Oh.
Most days which the train didn't come by, but I mean, irregardless, you need to have the flagger there. But $600,000 for a flagger. And they also, I'd like to point out that these taxes are from 2016, 17, 18, and 19, I assume, is going to follow.
Yeah. Well, 2019 isn't over yet, so it's going to be another. Let's see, break that down. It's been 3 years, so it's like $30,000.
It's $20,000.
Okay.
Give or take. Yeah. So they're all saying it's time to man up, just pay your fucking taxes. If we don't want you to leave, we're gonna have to kick you out. Is what the article says. So yeah, interesting. So on that note,
neat.
Yeah,
pay your taxes.
We're getting into hot water again. What else is new?
Oof.
On that note, oh god, what's my termination gonna be?
You can figure it out.
Ooh. My hat flew off. Yeah. Don't ride in the back of pickups.
Otherwise, your hat will
Can
land.
You just write that down here. Just make my life easier.
Write that down.
All right, thanks.
All right, I will see you all, gentlemen. Have a good night.
All right, if you want to make your life easier, this is the warning that I was talking about. A while ago, we talked about the Metropolitan Transit Authority, which is the New York City subway, was going to release a PSA video on not to take on what to do if you drop your AirPods between the platform and the train. Because apparently people have a habit of taking them on, or or putting them on or taking them off while they're getting on the train, and then they drop, and then they go, and then people panic and do stupid things like try to climb down and get them. Or in one woman's very ingenious solution was to put a piece of chewing gum on the end of a long stick of metal and to get the earbud back that way. But yeah, oh my god. The MTA has a pretty substantial lost and found division, and if you drop something on the tracks, you can just call them and tell them that you dropped something on the tracks, and they will get it for you. So don't panic. This is their warning video. It's something that you never expect, and here we are.
Here we are today.
And also out of the MTA.
Uh-oh.
So, New York is a very mixing pot place. There's a lot of different kinds of people in there, and there's also a fairly high concentration of Orthodox Jews in New York City.
Okay, I was wondering what this article was going to be about.
Okay, so naturally, the MTA being extremely busy, they run trains 24/7, 365. They always need staff, and the waiting list, or the whatchamacallit, the odds of getting a holiday off, even when you ask for it, sometimes aren't particularly high. So this person, who is ostensibly an Orthodox Jew, asked for the holiday of Rosh Hashanah off.
Mm-hmm.
And the MTA, who, I might add, has allowed him to take this holiday plenty of times before without issue, basically said, prove it. Prove you're a Jew. Are you celebrating this holiday?
Okay.
And they said he had 5 days to submit documentation proving that he'd actually observed Rosh Hashanah, or he would be marked as AWOL.
Wow.
Wait, that was easier than just saying, no, you can't have the day off.
I don't know.
Wait, the companies are not obligated to give you the day off for religious reasons.
No.
It's polite, but they are not obligated to.
But they gave him the day off.
Okay, then why are they so pissed off?
I don't know.
Okay.
Okay.
So, He asked for Rosh Hashanah off. He was initially denied it, and then a supervisor granted him the holiday. And then said, you need to prove that you took the holiday.
Okay.
You need to prove that you observed your religious holiday. And I don't... Like, if you take Christmas off, you don't have to prove that you celebrated Christmas.
No.
This is a person who has taken this holiday off in many previous years without issue. Also, the supervisor didn't specify what kind of documentation the person would need to submit to prove that they'd taken the holiday. So...
Oh, God. Oh, no. There's a very bad joke in there somewhere.
Your papers, please.
Yeah, it's something about Jews and papers, but
Yeah.
Ooh.
That's sort of what people are thinking right now. If people are drawing that kind of connection, quote, this, where's the quote? This, smells of, paraphrasing because I can't find the exact quote. This smacks of anti-Semitism and is definitely anti-worker. Which is, TWU Local 100, which I assume is a reporter organization, I don't know.
It's a union.
Oh, it's a union? Okay. Okay, that's right, that makes more sense. So, the supervisor gave the guy the holiday, and then told the union, but he has to provide documentation to prove it.
Okay.
Yeah. Quote,
How does one prove that they are Jewish?
I don't know. That's the question, right? That's where this comes apart for me. I can understand if you said, "Oh, I'm sick," and then your boss saw you at the movies or something. But this isn't that. This is saying I am Orthodox Jewish. I need this holiday off. Okay,
I'm Jewish.
Yeah.
Prove it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Points to yarmulke. Points to the hat. That's.
Look at my name is Reuben Goldstein. What do you want from me?
Also, okay, so this issue has been reviewed by New York NYCT Supervision. It was confirmed that no documentation is necessary. But what kind of situation is this?
Well, and what documentation are you going to provide?
Here's a selfie of me with the rabbi.
Oh, God.
Nice. You know what? I'm gonna... Madison was
You're not Jewish, you were eating a bacon sandwich this morning.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't say I was very good at it.
If Madison came in here, I would be like, so, what is the Rosh Hashanah documentation?
What is the Rosh Hashanah documentation? Is it like a punch card, and after 10 Rosh Hashanahs you get a bagel for free?
Yeah,
or...
exactly.
What's the procedure here?
Yeah.
What's the procedure?
Anyway.
Anyways.
I wish it would just be a, live and let be, sort of a you do Jew policy.
Oh my God.
You're not. Wow. How can I give you a point if you're not on this podcast? Why would you do this to me?
Oof.
Anyways, let's talk U.S. sugar number 148.
What are you?
Okay.
I'll just sign off because I'm pretty much done. I've got studying to do.
Okay, yeah, don't fail.
Yeah, thanks guys.
Bye.
Bye. Right, let's talk U.S. sugar number 148. They just did a boiler test fitting.
Neat.
That's what
That's
they
it.
did.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
That's pretty much it.
Western
Its
Pacific.
restoration's coming along very nicely compared to what it was a year ago they started, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that. K&L released a thing.
Yes!
Yeah.
Out of the blue, they released CN47, or the X10?
Yeah, X10A.
Yeah. Which is, that's
And-
exciting to me as well. I can't use it, like I said,
Yes.
but...
That's the 464T, isn't it?
Exactly.
Yes.
That is arguably the cutest thing at Steamtown.
I kind of want to
Buy it.
play with it.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, me too, actually.
It's very fun to play with.
Let's see here. The Washington Park and Zoo Railway might be moving to a historic railway.
I should start obtaining after the podcast.
Yeah, I heard that went through pretty well.
Did it actually go through? Because I was skeptical of this whole thing. I heard about this and I was like,
from what I heard, it went through.
The railway gets local approval for historical status. Now it's on to state and national committees.
okay.
I have no doubt that the state be national, maybe.
I don't see.
But-
That's. I feel like. I mean, obviously, I support these guys because it's cool. But at the same time, it's like. You're a zoo railway. I don't know. It's cool and it is historic. But I question how much trouble it's worth. For a zoo railway.
Well, probably more than the Walking Mountaineer to Seattle.
Well, yeah. Rip in peace. That.
Yeah, rip in peace.
Well, it's not as if you can't get to Seattle in another way. You can't take the train. You
No.
can't take a
It's the
different
only
train.
way to get to Seattle. What are you talking about?
No, you definitely can't take the Amtrak Cascades corridor.
No, but
Yeah.
and also, Sound Transit is working on an extension. They've begun construction on a $3.8 billion, 14-kilometer. Why kilometers? This is America. Grade separated light rail extension.
Ah,
So, this is the Linwood extension. So if you happen to live in Linwood, you'll be getting your trolley sometime between now and, I don't know,
Then.
later. Yeah, where's... Oh, expected to complete in 2024. That's actually not that bad. 5 years for that. That's good. I really hope they can do that. I hope they manage that. We need more light rail in this world.
yeah. Yeah, well,
Yes.
it's not bad.
What?
There's
Take a page out of Japan's book.
There's a retrocade experience that's returning to LA Union Station. Pretty much all the arcade just in LA Union Station.
Cool.
Very cool.
And while we still have long distance trains, you can take the train to it.
Yep.
Yeah.
For
Meanwhile, California High Speed Rail is apparently making some sort of progress. Oh boy,
really?
this is shade being thrown across news sources. Oh boy. I just opened this. I glanced at it before. So the Southern California News Group September 23rd editorial regarding the California High Speed Rail Authority's land acquisition process shows they haven't done their own homework but relied on an LA Times article that is both inaccurate and lacks context. So oh boy, there's some back and forth going on here.
Fight.
Yeah. The news group's editorial that asserts that we have bought too much land and not enough land. The truth is simple. Sometimes we buy more land than we need for the tracks alone, like when we acquire agricultural land. In many cases, we work with the landowner. If the owner concludes that the remainder of their land would not be economically viable for farming, we work with them and buy the entire property. In several cases, this approach is dictated through settlement agreements. In urban areas, we will buy more land to accommodate the future station and space. Blah, 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 blah. So I haven't seen the article that they're referencing here, but they're basically saying that the Southern California News Group is campaigning against California High Speed Rail and is not speaking genuinely about the situation. But I would assume it's less of the they're throwing shade at it and more of they've heard a lot of bad information and there's a lot circulating about California High Speed Rail, and I'm glad that they're still doing something. The project needs to be...
I'm glad there's still talk about it,
Yeah.
because I think it's good. It'd be good for...
I mean, there are two places in the United States where a high-speed rail network would make sense, in my opinion. In terms of... I mean, there's other areas where it would make sense, but where it could make sense and is also feasible, as in there aren't too many things in the way. California is one, and Texas is the other. Now, Texas... Did I take that article, or is it down
No,
there?
I think you did.
It's, Texas has also been making progress. The Texas Central has signed a design-build contract with Salini Impreglio, which is...
It sounds Italian.
Exactly, an Italian firm. And
So doing stuff with Amtrak. I don't know where the article went. I saw it, but it's gone now.
Oh, I stole it because we kind of mentioned it earlier.
Oh.
I'll put it back if you want to talk about it more.
No, there's not really a lot to talk about.
Salini Impreglio is active in more than 50 countries around the world. It's built more than 4,000 miles of railway infrastructure in Australia, Europe, Asia, and the Americas. They're going to supply the civil infrastructure work for the new high-speed train service between Houston and North Texas. This includes the design and construction of the viaduct and embankment sections along the entire route, the installation of the track system, and construction of related buildings and services along the route that will house maintenance and other rail system equipment. So, they are going to be the prime contractor on this job in terms of doing the bulk of the work, the bulk of the planning, I should say, and then they will work with construction contractors to do this. So, yeah, this is exciting. This is a major step because it means that the plans are going from conceptual to design.
That's real good.
Yeah. Texas is, like I said, if Texas gets on the train, then we could see a huge shift in overall political opinion about this sort of thing. Because Texas, being typically relatively conservative over the whole of it, if they decide that this is for them, I can see a lot of people that think similarly waking up to a similar way. In fact, this is sort of what we're seeing way down south with the Amtrak Gulf service. And there was a... Wow, I've been saving this trains article for like 2 months now, and I can't even read it. So, federal grant for operations advance this effort to restore Amtrak service to the Gulf Coast. Anyway, they're just getting a little bit more of a kick in the pants to do that. So, we've got progress in California, progress in Texas, and progress in Alabama and Mississippi.
We also have progress in Oregon, on the Oregon Coast Scenic. They steamed up a heister.
Hooray.
Hooray.
And WP Railroad Museum is making progress towards their little 060.
Yeah, well, and where do they run this Heisler?
The Oregon Coast Scenic. They won it until they won out of track.
Yeah.
Which is about 20 miles that way.
It's just a little ways, but Oregon Coast Scenic, come on.
But yeah, and also there's progress in Mexico, which trying to there's an article about that.
New Mexico.
Whatnot? Yep.
What about New Mexico?
Turn 96.
Yeah. It's gonna be on display in Albuquerque, right? Or something?
Yeah, it's supposed to be.
Well, you know what was going on in Albuquerque?
Oh, yes.
The private car meetup.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And Graham got to see like 1 million of them. So there was the private car convention, the American Association of Private Railcar Owners met in Albuquerque a few weeks ago. And boy, what an arrangement of stuff. How cool is that? It's just... I don't know why it tickles me so, but just seeing all the private cars in one place, it's like walking into a super rich neighborhood, except the houses are 80 feet long.
And can move.
Yeah. It's like the world's most expensive trailer park.
I probably would have been there, but
it's like it's like an expensive RV.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
let's see here. What else have we got?
Covering 2 articles that I'm pretty sure that I covered last time, which the blog post on 10.7 and 449 welding. Which I'm sure that I covered last, but we're here.
Well,
but
you
anyway.
weren't here. You weren't here, and the reason that I was waiting on a good amount of 4449 stuff is that you had gone to see it, and you never got to talk about that. And also the 1067 thing, there was like an article of your interview.
No, that's true. Okay, but anyways, I'll serious because I guess I want to do that. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
I'll show pictures from the class. And while I'm doing that, CP did Heritage.
and they look so good. Honestly, everything should look like this. Rarely do I see a heritage scheme, and I'm like, most of the time you see a heritage scheme, and it's like,
wow, that's really cool.
Well, that's pretty cool. I'm glad
nice.
they have one or two of those. But I'm just like, everything should look like that.
Yep.
That's pretty.
Please.
I'll take your entire
Yeah,
shop.
seriously. Just paint everything like that. Come on, please. Like... Oh, it makes me so happy. Whoops, I didn't take the historic zoo railway thing.
Oregon Pacific was out when they had some of their equipment on display. Their SW1, same engine that pulled all the steam engines in and out of that part. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oaks Park, rather, which is current. Well, for the street thing, it's where they turn around, but go around, whatever. But it's cool. And it was a pretty fun trip. It went well for the most part. Yeah, about as well as you could ask for. Weather held up pretty well. And everyone on board had a good time.
Neat.
Nice.
And then the blog post was just a story interview that I gave with Frank Hick of Hick Car Works, which he and his son, I think, we store interurban cars at IRM. Yeah. And I think he's done probably a dozen restorations. Yeah. But I just sent him an email saying, hey, we're doing stuff with this. On his website, which is like the whole source of Charlie fast. StarMaxDemoCom.com, but for Charlie's, the Panaric, Preserved North American Natural Railway. Preserved North American Electric Railroad cars. So I just gave him stacks for nerds.
That's for nerds.
And informed him that, yeah, we're doing stuff for it.
Cool.
And that we had acquired parts. Basically everything that was just public knowledge at that point.
Mm-hmm.
So, I took a lot of the Amtrak news because I like to talk about Amtrak.
Yeah.
And once in a blue moon, something good from Amtrak comes around.
Yeah.
Somebody rode the Empire Builder, and we're talking about how much they actually enjoyed it and recommended going on this trip.
Mm-hmm.
And the sights that they saw, and something totally different, and it's not as bad as people think.
Yeah.
Albuquerque is joining an effort to...
Autoplay video.
Yeah.
Yeah, also, there's a, one of the nice things that came out of the event in Albuquerque is, a huge showing of, like, we care about the Southwest Chief. And there's, an article here talking about the city of Albuquerque is now joining in this effort, as has a lot of important people and organizations around the state of New Mexico and Kansas to save the Southwest Chief as it is, to make sure that it remains the way it is. Because the Southwest Chief is really, due to Raton Pass, it really makes it like the canary in the coal mine. if something's going to go badly, if we're going to see an Amtrak route cut, the chief is probably going to go first because of Raton Pass. So, rallying behind the Southwest Chief like this, and doing things like the article that you just referenced, it really helps, and it shows that no, we do actually care about Amtrak. We do actually like Amtrak. We don't want to see it go away, and you won't let it go away. Because ultimately, as far as the routes go, Amtrak is beholden to Congress. And, that's... If enough people can talk to their representatives and say that we want this thing or we don't want this thing, then that word can get to Amtrak, at least. So, anyway, Milky,
So basically,
nice pictures.
Thanks. Yeah.
Milky Soft.
they're basically saying next time take the train.
Next time, take the train.
Just don't take the F train.
F.
Because it derailed.
Press F to pay respects for the F train.
Yep.
Apparently, some brakes got stuck on, and that caused it to derail.
Ooh.
Yeah.
What exactly is the F train?
It's the New York City F train.
New York City F train.
It's one of the subway trains. One of the subway lines.
Yeah. Also, press F to pay respects to Nevada Northern number 40.
Yeah, going out of service.
It's going out of service next year. Its farewell charter is scheduled for March 7th to the 8th of next year. So you still have some time to see it. Just, you might want to see it sometime soon.
Aww.
Yeah. Well, it's a shame. It'll be back.
It'll be back. It's going to, what is it, down for its flu time?
Yeah, it's down for 4072.
4072.
Oh, that's the big one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, autoplay video. Ah!
Surprise.
Surprise.
Well.
And apparently this Heritage loses the machine with foreign tourists. If I can get rid of this, that would be great, because there's a fucking ad in front of it.
Speaking
Thank
of
you.
machines.
I'm the machine.
They are No, you are not. Yes. Yeah, you're the machine. They are taking over.
Yeah?
Yeah.
The Robo-Train?
Yeah, the Robo-Train. I do not trust
it.
I don't trust
it. I don't think it's a good idea.
It is not a good idea.
Hey, you say it's not a good idea,
but
but think about how many of the
trying out for it, and it worked, I guess.
Your average like airport people mover runs completely without human interference. And if you can do it at that scale, this is the 21st century. You can scale that up, and that's what they're doing in Australia.
You too. Yeah.
They're and. I mean, it makes me nervous, certainly, but it's moving into an era that we don't know yet. It's gonna feel
Of course, change is uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's nervous making now because they aren't perfect, and I mean they'll never be perfect. They just have to be better than us. And when comes the day that they are in fact better than us, and the robots do take over, and we have to bow down to them. You better make sure that everything that we have recorded is in full praise of the robots, or else you will be in trouble. No, but what I mean is we're going to come to a point where it's just going to feel totally normal. It's going to be, wow, remember the days when we had to drive our cars? Remember the days where, where we had humans in charge of this stuff? Man, what idiots we were. Why would you do that?
Here comes Wally.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, here comes Wally.
Well,
but you know what isn't coming?
What?
Streetcars to Seattle.
No.
Ooh.
Seattle canceled the streetcar contract.
Ooh.
I can't read the article because it's on trains.
Oh, okay. F. That's not helpful then.
No, it's not.
I should
But
take one for the podcast and get a Trains Magazine subscription. I used to have Mason's login when he had a Trains Magazine subscription.
Yeah, and if Union Pacific couldn't get any worse, well, if they're black against them, this family is suing Union Pacific after a relative dies in ambulance because it was unable to cross the tracks.
Wow.
we can't get away from this. Whenever TBA's on, we talk about trains blocking intersections.
Oh my god, you're right. Every time. It's
Every
been
time.
3 times in a row that I've been on.
Well, we also have another complaint about idling trains. In talking about the health risks of living next to an idling locomotive, basically. And you know what would solve this?
What?
Wobtech's newest thingy.
Yeah.
Their battery electric locomotive, which is BNSF and NS are partnering together with Wobtech to develop a true battery electric high horsepower road locomotive, which they plan to begin testing late next year. So they have a cool video about it, and there are a couple of articles about it, including a Trains Magazine one, which you can actually read. So
I want to see this.
Yeah. There's a 3-minute video with artist renderings and
please,
discussing certain components and things like that.
Where is it?
It's
right here. I see it.
The first one is the video. So BNSF is working with Wobtech on this. NS is expecting its engineers and others to learn more about operating motive power equipped with PTC by employing virtual locomotives in a simulation environment. Hey, wait a minute, I do that every day. The Class 1 has established virtual locomotives at its PTC lab in Alabama, which I assume is also just known as Railworks 2019. So, the software imitates the diesel's locomotive onboard computer, while the virtual unit performs like a road locomotive. The virtual system can simulate multiple locomotives at the same time. Well, I would hope so. The Class 1s need hundreds of locomotive configurations to properly test its PTC system, so the railroad bought necessary hardware, blah, 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 blah. So, and they're talking about using virtual reality for this sort of stuff, and just automated testing, and, just, like, all this tech. All this cool tech. So between Wobtech and BNSF and NS, it looks like we're on the verge of a crazy locomotive leap forward in terms of motive power. Will we see the situation change overnight? No. But as soon as a viable battery electric engine hits the market, things are going to get really interesting.
Really interesting.
I'm watching this video.
Mm-hmm.
This looks cool.
Yeah.
I approve. I think this could be... I remember a few podcasts ago I was asking, the next generation of diesels.
Mm-hmm. This is it.
This could be it. This is
it's
it.
not diesels.
This could be...
It's plot twist. It's batteries.
Electric engines, electric locomotives.
Wow, it's all coming full
We need
circle.
a hybrid. We need the Prius of locomotives.
Alright, what else we got here?
I don't know. We've got a couple of
Pretty soon
things. We can tear through the rest of it, or we can just leave it for another time. I mean, what else here is super important?
I guess we should say where 611 should be going after
Oh yeah,
Strasbourg.
that's kind of important because they were originally
They were
allegedly supposed to go to RNN, but instead
that didn't happen. They're going to Spencer.
Streamliner to Spencer.
No, not the store.
They're going to Spencer's. On sale, one massive black and maroon dildo.
Yeah.
So yeah, back to Spencer.
Yeah. Where it's probably going to be put up for display and never move again.
Oof.
Probably.
And probably not. But
Probably not. But, yeah.
Have they announced what they're actually doing in Spencer, or are they just going to hang out?
They're going there for At the Frog. There's going to be At the Frog and jump seat cab rides, apparently.
Okay, that's cool. They'll be puttering around, but that's,
And there'll be a photo shoot.
Okay. Yeah, I'm wondering what the next excursion is going to be. With the situation with Amtrak and insurance being the way it is. I mean, there seem to be other players that are getting ready to step in and do things like this, like with the New River train. But somebody just left.
Oh, that was TBA.
F.
Oof.
I wonder if he fell asleep. Just kidding.
He was talking.
No, I'm kidding. But it is, it's interesting to see what the next stage is for 611. We know what the next stage is for the big boy. It's already in the middle of it.
Right.
Right. Which you have. Right here.
Yes, I do. Big boy is going on an adventure. It's come to the high desert.
It's going across the southwest.
Yes, it is.
I know TBA was mad
During
because
the
it wasn't coming to his backyard, but...
Give it a year.
Yeah. Can we talk about that one bit of news that wasn't railroad related? Because it kind of is big.
If we want to wrap up with that...
We'll wrap up with that? Okay,
Yeah.
we'll get to that then. Speaking of more UP, they're in trouble still.
Unsurprising.
Unsurprisingly. What the fuck was this article?
We should have covered
Union
this with the
Pacific-
other UP troubles.
Yeah, we should have. Then I realized, oh wait, I had this. Union Pacific battles low freight demand. Time to dump?
It's low freight demand. It's
So not only are they the worst employer, they also have freight demand, so you're going to get laid off.
and they're derailing more than KCS.
Yeah.
That's
As is
not
everybody.
a good sign.
We actually had an article about KCS dropping grain volumes, but I deleted it because I thought we wouldn't get to it. So, just know that KCS is dropping grain volumes and feel bad. Anyway.
Yep. And welcome back, TBA. What happened?
I think he's going to say, like, his internet dropped out or something. 'Cause that's what tends to happen for him.
Yeah, that's probably what's going on here.
And he's gone again. Okay. So, you want to cover the rest of what you've got? I'm going to leave my stuff for later.
Sure. We've got this locomotive number 61. I have no idea what it is. I just grabbed it. But it's,
Milky?
Eric, you stole my... Well,
no, if you want to cover it, Milky, I'll let you cover it. I'll let you cover it.
Except my one Colorado church.
I'll let you take it, Milky. You can have it.
Okay, fine. I'll talk about her. Okay, they got some paint on the frame now, and final journal was polished.
This
and,
is for the record, before you go any further, this is White Pass 61 to explain what this engine is to the people that don't know what you're talking about.
Because I was trying to figure this out for the longest time, just staring at the thing. What are you? Oh, that makes sense.
It's an outside frame, 3-foot locomotive. How many of those are there? That aren't Rio Grande.
Oh, that aren't Rio Grande. I was going to say many.
I specify not Rio Grande. But anyway, Sati. Getting ready to pen. And then he did that. And second, Craig Penn mostly whooped out. More frame cleaning, inspection, and paint needs. Cells fabricated. All around good stuff for weekend product.
And moving right along, the oldest piece of railroading history of the rocket is getting moved.
Isn't it a replica?
No, the original.
Oh, the original rocket. Oh, like the
original
bits.
rocket.
Is it
the one that started it all?
Is it
the one that started it all?
Okay. I was thinking of something. See this? Wow, it looks really good in the second picture there. If that's not a replica.
The second picture is the replica.
Okay,
the first one
okay,
is
okay.
the
That makes
actual
sense.
original rocket.
I guess I glanced down and I was like, no, that's not the real thing.
No.
It's
going to get its own purpose-built hall just for it.
good. As it should be.
That's impressive. And then Wisconsin made a mistake.
Okay, this is like a long political thing. This was like a mistake that 10 years have gone by, and Wisconsin is realizing maybe we should have done the railroad thing.
Yeah, so instead of going with high-speed rail, they should have. They went with this thing called Foxconn, which I had to look up what that was.
What is Foxconn?
Foxconn manufactures electronic products for major American, Canadian, Chinese, Finnish, and Japanese companies.
Okay.
Which includes the BlackBerry, iPad, iPhone, iPod, Kindle, 3DS, Nokia devices, some Chinese devices, PS3, PS4, Wii U, Xbox 360, Xbox.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
But where's the backfire?
That's what the backfire is. They would have made more money off the railroad than they were making off of Foxconn.
Yeah.
Because, if I recall correctly from the article, Foxconn has not at all lived up to what they said they would be able to do.
No.
In terms of job creation and such. They promised $3 billion in subsidies to Foxconn in return for a commitment to invest $10 billion and create up to 13,000 jobs. Today, Foxconn has a record of missed construction dates, missed employment levels, and a missed product mix. In fact, the first production looks like it will be coffee machine robots rather than high-tech screens. So they haven't even built anything yet, after 10 years.
Speech equals 0.
So,
Yeah.
nice. So,
Real nice.
when the options are on the table, once again, take the train.
Yeah.
Always take the train.
This has been the Terminus Podcast. What a great way to sign off that would have been.
Yeah, what
Okay.
Alright.
Well, you can talk about what you wanted to talk about.
Alright, so it's not railroading news, but it's still important nonetheless. A World War II B-17 crashed shortly after takeoff. 7 injured, 7 dead.
This is 909 was the B-17.
Yeah.
It was in Hartford,
B-17.
Connecticut.
B-17. I've seen this B-17 several times.
I'm not sure I've seen it. I don't think I've seen a B-17.
This actually makes me incredibly sad.
It does.
Yeah,
And
it is really sad.
This is the danger
There's only,
with heritage aircraft. And that's what makes me so nervous about them. Like, I love the idea of them, but if you have a catastrophic failure on a steam locomotive, barring a boiler explosion, it's still likely that nobody is going to get killed. You can skook them the hell out of your locomotive, and it's going to look really bad, but nobody's going to die, and you'll be able to replace the parts that broke. When something like this happens, 909 is gone. There's 7 people dead, and the only things left are a wing and a tail. And it sucks because it's a piece of history, and you love to see it in action like that. But
it's an important piece of this nation's history.
Yeah, and you love to see it in action like that. But the danger that goes with doing so is immense.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
It's just such a shame. And I mean, it's not supposed to be.
They're an endangered species.
The stuff is, yeah, exactly. And we're not getting any more of them.
Nope.
They're not, they're supposed to be fine, but these, in particular, B-17s and other warplanes, they were designed to have very short shelf lives, and they were designed so that they could be cranked out as much as possible. And they were designed, frankly, with the knowledge that they were going to be shot at and some were just going to be lost. And if something went wrong and a plane went down, not to say it's okay, but yeah, there's more.
Yeah.
There'll be more next week.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And that's something it's just super unfortunate. It really is for what it is, for what happened. But I don't know what to say.
I will say if something comes up in like a charity or whatever, I will donate to it.
Yeah.
I think there might be donations coming. I was looking at the article. I thought I saw something about the donations. Go away, ad.
Because I'm a very large advocate of the history of war, and World War II is my favorite time span.
Mm-hmm. Mine too.
Boy, I love war.
Hey, my grandpa was.
This isn't what it's like. But
yeah. Well, my heart goes out to the families of those lost in the accident, and hoping that those injured make full recoveries. And best case scenario, not best case maybe, but hopefully we'll see, the pieces of 909 preserved. I don't.
909 will be missed.
Yeah,
she was famous.
I wouldn't expect to see like a
replica.
Yeah, like a replica of 909 or something like that. And it's
imagine the impact if something happened to Fifi.
Oh my god.
Oh god.
Yeah.
The last B-29. Oh.
The last airworthy B-29.
Yes. Actually, not anymore. There's another one now.
Oh, there is?
Isn't Doc?
I think it's yeah.
Doc. I think Doc is up and running.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's neat. I hope nothing goes wrong.
Yeah.
They also are working on this is just a total sidebar. They're also working on getting a Concorde airworthy again.
Oh shit!
Really?
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
These guys in France are working on one.
This slowly turned into from the railroading podcast to the airplane podcast.
This is the hangar now.
Yeah, the hangar or the terminal.
The side podcast,
The taxi.
Please go subscribe to the Terminus channel.
Anyways,
same as Pro.
I've got something else that's kind of interesting, but Amazon and Walmart bought a whole bunch of 53-foot containers. They're going to start using intermodal trains to move stuff around. Which
so the A&W, the Amazon and Walmart,
the Amazon and Walmart, the A&W. Wait a minute, I've seen this one.
Wait a minute, I've heard this. I've seen this one somewhere. Trademarks. Well, cool. I can't trademark it. But...
Anyway, all right.
They mostly use BNSF.
All right, well that's that. Let's do our favorite little bit towards the end here. What is the latest train on Amtrak?
Oh Lord.
Yeah.
Oh God.
So, what do we think?
Gotta remember the names.
Yeah.
The trains are always late.
Fuck. Guess the Sunset.
Which Sunset?
The one to LA.
One to LA. Didn't you say that last time?
I probably did.
I feel like you guess that every time. Not that it's a bad guess. Not that it's a bad guess, but just throwing that out there.
It's something on the East Coast. I can't remember. The Cardinal, I think?
Oh, yeah, there is the Cardinal. The Cardinal, which, let's see. Do we have a Cardinal on? We have a Cardinal. There's only one. I'll just give it to you. There's only one Cardinal.
Okay.
So...
that'll be my guess, though.
Milky?
Oh, wait. No. Feels a bit nippy outside, so it might affect the Coast Starlight going south.
Coast Starlight going south. Well, the Coast Starlight to Los Angeles is 43 minutes late. At Albany, Oregon. The other Coast Starlight is on time. The other Coast Starlight going south. The Cardinal is actually 2 minutes early.
Yeah, dude.
And Eric, did you look at the map?
I did not look at the map at all.
Because the latest train on Amtrak is the Sunset Limited to Los Angeles.
Can I lose my strike for that?
2 hours and 40 minutes late. But for picking a train that was early?
Yeah.
Do you know what the game is called?
The latest train on Amtrak.
You should get a second strike.
No. What did I get my strike for?
I don't know. You made some stupid pun or something.
Oh.
I can't remember, but I was like, that gets you a strike. It's in the recording somewhere.
We'll find it.
We also have the Crescent to New York, which is an hour and 13 minutes late. The Crescent to New Orleans is an hour and 50 minutes late. The other Sunset Limited is almost 2 hours late, and the Southwest Chief is an hour and a quarter late. Also, there's an Empire Builder that's an hour late. But for the most part, Amtrak's doing pretty well today. There's nothing in the black. And actually, let's look at... Where's the Canadian? Oh, there it is. 2 hours and 57 minutes late. That's pretty good for the Canadian.
So, what is the latest train on Amtrak?
Eric got it. It's the Sunset Limited to Los Angeles.
Oh, wow.
2 hours and 40 minutes late. Again, I think he guessed that last time, and it was the latest train on Amtrak.
It seems to be a good guess.
It is good.
Well, it is good because it's always late.
It's always like if it's frickin' actually running. Anyway.
Yeah, dude, it's weird. Like I said a while back, there was no Amtrak 6 a few weekends ago.
Yeah, that's a weird one. It's just the Sunset Limited runs every other day is the reason why I say that.
Yeah, 6 is usually daily, and I was kind of surprised to see it not run. I'm like, what the hell happened? There was 5, but no 6.
Interesting. Anyway, alright, time for the end of the line. Abby, with 1 point. What is your termination?
Trains. I'm coming for you. Here we go again. I'm gonna do it. 2019, get ready. I'm coming for you.
I sure hope so. Whoops,
You're
I made myself
standing
fall.
in poop!
Yeah, Eric with 0 points goes, that's his...
You're standing in poop!
It's just somebody, a little kid in the open air car saw somebody standing in one of the fields or along the side of the road and decided that that was the thing to shout at the person who they thought was standing in poop. And it was hilarious.
Nice.
I got the footage too.
You have footage?
I have the footage. I have to get put it on YouTube.
Oh god. Milky, I believe you're next?
Well, you are.
Oh, I am,
but...
sorry. All right. What other podcast do you want us to make? The Terminal? The Turnpike? Vote now on your phones.
The mine shaft.
The car barn?
The Car Bjarn?
Dude, the crew lounge.
The Crew Lounge.
The bus barn?
No.
The Pump House.
Okay. Oh boy. But anyways, my termination is this neat little AI that can colorize photos, and there's a different version of it that can also do videos. So, kind of cool. From black and white to color.
It is really cool.
You're gonna have to show us how that works later.
Yeah.
And, Chris was the last one, of course. He said my hat flew off. And landed in poop! Anyway, I think we might have broken a record for the longest Terminus podcast, so that's what happens when we have a month's worth of news stacked up. I appreciate you guys for watching and sticking around, and I hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you again in 2 weeks. Fingers crossed. Bye-bye!
Good night, everybody.